I swear, we don't come in normally again. We passed that stage. We're experienced now.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But Emmanuel, I'm very glad that you're in the country. I thought you were going to be locked up, man. I was really thinking about how I'll come
Yo,
and tear my leg in your house. I didn't know you make it back.
instead of me to be thinking of how you're going to find a way to bring me back.
Why?
But that,
Like,
it's crazy because that was like how when I went to Cancun. I don't know if I told you. Oh yeah, we're on the phone now. When I missed
yeah.
I missed my flight, and I had to buy another
This
flight.
boy went around the whole world just to get back to Canada.
Wait, Manipi, they didn't let you in this time? Or they almost didn't let you in this time?
Yo, this time, like, bro, it's so dumb because Canada will still need like COVID testing to come back.
Yeah.
And like places like in Mississauga now, you can just walk into like a Shoppers Drug Mart, right? And like you can just do your test. So I thought it was the same P now. Like I just woke up like early. Actually, I didn't wake up early. I woke up at like 2 or something. So I went to like CVS and like Walgreens, and like I walked in and they were like, "Yo, you need an appointment, blah blah blah, this one, that one." So I was like, "Okay, like, is there any like walk-in place?" And they're like, "Nah, none that they know of at least." So in my mind, I was already like, "Okay, I'm fucked. Like my flight is tomorrow 5 a.m." Like how But yeah, but I managed to like search or like after like 2 hours, I found somewhere like in the airport and ended up paying like 100 Canadian dollars for a rapid test.
Is that considered expensive? Is that
Okay.
Guy, you don't do $100.
I don't know.
No. As per like I thought COVID tests are already like expensive regardless. Like you get, I don't know.
Not even that expensive. Definitely not a rapid test. If it's a CPR, sure, but not a
But
rapid
this is a rapid test. This is one
CPR
that you can do in your house.
Or PCR.
My kid says CPR.
Guy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man. So, and the dumbest P is that from April 1st, like, it's not a requirement again.
Swear.
So, literally from mid, like, this week, it's not a requirement again.
You've already committed, but you had a good weekend, so that was it. By the way, happy birthday, bro. Like, now you see on the pod, yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I hope you brought back things, Sha. What?
Didi, you've not wished him a happy birthday.
I make a message to him. It'll be okay. Did you bring anything back?
Didi's message was so funny. The babe was like, "Don't go and come back with a child" or something like that. So I was like,
no, that's not what I said. Let me specifically read my message.
It was funnier, but yeah.
Yeah, my message. I said, "Come back whole. Don't deposit anything and leave it to anybody." That's what I said. I was specific. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I'm glad you had fun, Sha.
But yeah, guys.
Glad you had fun.
Minus the Yans, can we introduce our guest, please?
Yeah, for sure.
On the pod. Okwuchi was good, man. It was good. Okwuchi,
let me start off by saying these niggas are terrible hosts, okay? Like like the way this thing popped up. First of all, I was here like 30 minutes early. I received the link early, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe we'll do like a little sound test or something. And you know what it feels like? It feels like inviting somebody to a deeper life service, and then the person comes and then come they sweep the church. But we did, it's your boy Okwuchi, aka the Chocolate Monster, aka the African Wizard. Courtesy of the Irregular Show podcast, It's good to be here chopping it up with you guys, yo. I appreciate the invitation, and I'm ready for us to talk about some fun shit.
For sure.
Wow.
For sure.
That's an entrance. Not the one you say, "My name is Manny P." My name is Emmanuel.
Yo, Didi, can you get off my jeez? What's your problem? Yo, Didi has to come in for me. Yo, Didi, are you on heat right now? What's going on?
Oh, Jesus.
Did
you say heat?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that shit since like just 3 agriculture.
Bro.
You on heat.
Wow.
But yo, man, Okwuchi, I'll say like I'm a fan, man. Like I've heard you a few times on From Lagos with Love. Yo, big ups, man.
You guys kill it.
Man, I appreciate that, man. It blows my mind to hear somebody say like, like they're a fan of what I do, because in a way I still consider myself somebody who's just like still starting. Because as you guys know now, within the Niger space at least, podcasting is still, still a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
man. Yeah.
but then in another sense, there's some of us that have been doing it longer than others. Before it became a pandemic hobby for everybody.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I
Okwuchi, there was
appreciate
this
them.
live,
I appreciate
there
them.
was this live you
Uh,
guys had, I think during
uh,
COVID. Bro, this
uh,
live was probably one of the funniest lives I've watched. Like I watched during COVID. Bro. It was four of you guys. You guys were just going in on everything. I can't remember. Like, oh Jesus Christ! You guys still have it on your page, if I'm not mistaken. Like for Lagos with Love. I'm
I
like,
feel like
boy.
I feel like I know the one you were talking about. I think we talked about, there was somebody came, was in the comments, and we're like going in on that person. I think I know the one you're talking about. There's one live that we did that was like really hilarious.
Yeah, like
Um,
the first time, but the first time I was just like pre you guys wait. I remember I was watching this thing. I'm like, nah, these guys are
uh,
criminals, bro. I'm like, these guys are criminals, bro. But this was like during COVID, man. But this shit was crazy, guy. But yeah, guy, when did you guys start from Lagos with Love? When did you guys start the regular show? Like how was I guess balancing both been? How's the whole this thing been?
ooh.
Oh,
Okay, so
interesting.
I think with the regular show I wanted to start it like earlier than I actually did. But
Yeah,
the thing sometimes is that, and I think as young Nigerians, you guys can relate to this. Sometimes you want to do something, but like your biggest obstacle is your head, because you think it's more
yeah,
complicated than it actually is,
yeah,
and like because you want to get it perfectly before you start, you now end up wasting a hell of time just thinking about what it is you're supposed to do.
Mm,
So the regular show was in my head for a minute, but I didn't actually like pull the trigger until like 2019. Um, and when I started on my phone. I went from, which was the best microphone and what's the best camera and all this other stuff. And then I just started doing it on my
yeah.
phone,
yeah. Sharp, sharp.
because I was like, this shit is long. It's
Yeah,
long.
Mm,
Yeah.
And yeah, and I started in 2019. Did it for like about a year and a half, and I got to a point where I was kind of stuck. And I was stuck because it was hard, like basically shouldering the responsibility for everything. Like the way I ran the pod was literally all my co-hosts just had to show up. They just had to show up and
mm-hmm.
talk.
mm,
Everything else was on me: studio time, equipment, like finding topics and stuff like all of that shit was on me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so like the burnout like kind of became crazy, and I think I started overthinking things, because for me it was like, okay, what's the next step now? And so it
Yeah.
started becoming less fun. So at that point in time, I reached out to. I already knew about Dio and Sultan in a way, but I like reached out to them. I was like, you know what? I really enjoy talking about music, right? The regular show is more a space for talking about like personal, like life shit.
yeah,
And I was like, hey, can I hop on you guys this like platform, and let's chop it up about some music. And that was like, man, or Sultan was like, man, that would be so happy because we're actually talking about this. Like in some ways, it's like a spiritual thing. I know it's like just podcasting, but at the same time, there are just some things that just click because they're supposed to click.
yeah,
Because I had no idea that they were even talking about the possibility of having me on the pod in that capacity. So I did one episode, and then they were like, yo, like you should stay on as like a regular. And I was like, all right, cool. And so that became a thing while I was taking a break from the regular show. Um,
Mm,
and then one day I was like, yo, let's have a conversation. I said, this is the vision that I have for this podcast. This is what I think we can do with it. Because I've always felt like Loose Talk they left like this open gap, right? That
yeah.
hadn't been filled at that point in time. And I was like, we're the closest to that. Like, and I think we can take that spot. So like if you guys are on the same page as me, we can do this thing. Or if you guys just want to be vibing, then we can do that too. And so it became like a more intentional thing. We started doing like regular drops.
Yeah.
I started reaching out to artists, managers and stuff like that, forming relationships, getting those artists on the platform. And
mm-hmm.
like the podcast went from like, it just like the value of the podcast went up like 100 times
Wow.
since then. Then we got nominated for a Gage Award. The regular show got nominated for a Gage Award too. So
Damn.
having two podcasts that you're on nominated for best podcast award was like,
Now that's dope
yo,
as hell, man.
That's some dope shit,
That's
especially when you
dope,
think
man.
about the fact that, like, from Lagos, I'm so vulgar. Like, I'm such a vulgar guy. Like, the way I talk on my podcast is not traditionally Niger. So for us to be up there, and we're talking like real shit. The things that people are afraid to say because they don't want backlash. Like when an artist drops whack
Mm.
music, like we'll straight up be like, yo, that shit is ass. Like,
They
and
thought that
the
was
fact
it be.
no, you have to. You have to. As a listener, that's one thing that I knew I was yearning for before I started doing podcasts. I'm like, yo, this politically correct shit is like anything with that's in job, you just be kissing ass if you enter here.
Let me say, wow, that's so lit.
Like if you know enter,
Yeah,
you still be gassing the shit up. Like yo, like it's
I
okay.
feel
People drop
you.
mid shit. People drop mid. And it's okay to say a nigga drop mid.
But
So
something that comes with that is that were you guys already like prepared for the backlash? Because you know the way Twitter they be. I'm not on Twitter, but I've seen like the
yeah.
madness that can happen on Twitter. So were you guys
The thing
already
is
ready?
that
That kind.
the thing is that is this. Think about it like kind of NSAS. Like NSAS, that frustration was already it had
Mm.
been bubbling for years. People felt a way, but nobody actually wanted to be like the person to start organizing protests.
Yeah.
Like it's that kind of
Yeah.
thing where usually what happens in society and even in like smaller circles like this, people usually need somebody that will step in and be like just be really confident about what it is. Like anything will happen, make it happen. And it allows for that space for people to like be even more open. That's not to say they weren't being open before, but like the way I would discuss topics, like I would straight up just be like, nah, nigga, like like this shit is, and it came off like I was being harsh, but I was just being honest. And so that like also elevated like the quality of the conversations on the podcast. At some point it was like, what, let's, it would be nice to have like a female perspective too on these things. And
Mm-hmm.
that happened. So, yeah, got nominated for the Gage Awards. We didn't win. I understand why I said what I said on, because man,
Guy.
those women were like kicking us during the
So I
NSAS
said what I
movement.
said where they were
Yeah.
running streets.
There's
They were running
like
it.
I'm not even talking about on the pod P, because if you ask me on the pod P, like they have nothing on us. That one did it. But everything that they were doing, like like outside of that, they had to give it to them. They had to give it, like they really like showed up and showed out, man. And so that I give them credit for. And yeah,
Yeah.
we've just been doing our thing. And I think From Lagos to Love started maybe like a year before the regular show. But I've been on From Lagos to Love for a year and some change at this point.
Wow.
That's actually dope, man. That's actually would you say, because I saw like you work on like playlists and stuff, like how
Hmm.
guy how is it like how is it knowing that okay there might be potential backlash, me saying like yo this song is trash or this song is
Hmm.
mid, how like
Hmm.
what's your mindset when you like say these things, you're like if it's going to happen it's going to happen. Abi, or
Yeah, I mean, like Whiskey stands don't, they don't do person mentions and they've threatened, and
Eh?
like
Dem
one time,
Diddy.
Seth,
Yeah,
one
so
time,
we
Seth,
did here.
really, Trix, mute our mic real quick. So
I mean, you time.
stands the day my mentions regular. One time there were Tiwa Savage stands in my this. I was like, Tiwa Savage guest stands, like that's nuts. But like
Yeah.
it's that kind of thing. It's like I'm ready for it, because there's nothing more freeing than being able to speak your mind.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like
Mm.
that is like, and it's something that is missing in that space. Even when you hop on, I was seeing the other day, somebody, was it Rema or somebody,
Mm.
or was it like when Santi dropped his P, and somebody was like saying it's a classic. It wasn't even up to an hour yet. Like,
This
so
is
I'm
a
just like,
classic.
yo, this is the kind of nonsense that you people are proud to like, clearly state on online. So there has to be somebody that's tackling these things, and I think because I grew up in the US, and I was just like tapped into various parts of hip hop culture, and I would hear people like Charlemagne and Vlad, like I hear these people like
Yeah,
actually
you know
speak their
what's
mind
up,
and say
Yo,
man.
the things that
Charlemagne
I
they
was
talk.
thinking.
Mm.
Yeah,
Charlemagne they talk calm as it be.
the
No
goods.
filter, bro.
Yeah, even though Charlemagne was wilding, at first, like
Yeah.
he did overdo him that time, but at least he would say like if he didn't like something, I could at least respect that. I would look at like academics, who would like this nerdy Jamaican immigrant guy who like is sitting in his basement somewhere recording, and all of a sudden he built all this leverage in hip hop. Like you might not like him, but there's something to be respected about that. So I looked at all these people like, man, these guys are saying my mind, but anytime these artists go on other platforms, niggas are just like praising every single thing that they do. Nobody's really challenging them. And so I told myself I'm gonna be that person for Afrobeats, like if you drop some fire shit, and somehow I became known as the person who hates every song, but I'm like, I have a whole playlist series where I put all the songs like from underground artists that I like, so
Yeah.
that's how I kind of balance it out. But yeah, I'm not afraid of any kind of like response or anything like that.
Okwuchi,
because
you be Lagos girl or ABJ guy. Like I know you grew up in the US, but like back home.
if you had to take a guess, which one would you?
I would probably say Lagos because
I'll say Port Harcourt. I won't say Lagos.
Interesting. Why Port Harcourt?
I don't know. There's just something about, I don't know. Maybe because right now I'm with my 2 Port Harcourt friends. Maybe that's why.
What's the
So,
vibe
I
of
don't
the
know.
So you
conference?
sound like you're from the trenches,
No,
basically.
They have this like Port Harcourt people are very like, I don't know. They don't take. They're very. I don't know how to
They
explain.
just
They're not.
They don't take
they speak their
nonsense.
mind.
speak their
Yeah,
mind.
they don't take. Yeah, they don't take nonsense. Abuja people,
Like-
they used to form. Lagos, they used to form.
Yeah.
But Port Harcourt people just like rubbish. Like it is what it is. I said it. Take it like that, right? So
Like
that's why.
Stano that will be yarning any small thing. Even when it's moving to babes, it'll be like, why they form? Like, bro,
What?
guy's too street red.
Like, but that guys
Yeah.
are too straightforward, but they're just too straightforward. Bro. Like, at
Yeah,
least
that's
Futa
what I
is
was
small.
saying. Yeah.
Gotcha,
But
gotcha. That makes sense. I'm actually an Abuja guy.
Hey,
Yeah.
but the
God.
thing-
Okwuchi, the sabi boy.
Actual yuck. Actual yuck.
no, they
Yeah,
cap
Abuja
now. It's too
people.
late. But no, I'm an
so
Abuja boy. But I
Didi
went
was
to.
Didi's FOMO that is doing Didi, bro. It's FOMO. Like, wow, ABJ is where it is.
Louisville babe.
Okay, shut up. It's okay. I'll do shouts. You're too
Well,
loud.
which school did you go to in ABJ?
I went to first of all, I schooled in Jos. My secondary school, I was in Command Secondary School. And,
Makes sense.
I know.
Jos.
That's where I get it from.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I went to like there was like this what they call, there was a riot at some point while I was in school over there, so I didn't come back to Jos after that, and I went to Word of Faith in Abuja, like my last.
There's a school like that.
Yeah, there's Word of Faith now. I know Word of Faith.
Yeah, Word of Faith. Yes, like
You Abuja people and your funny name, World of Faith.
Guy, you guys have a school called Corona. Like, let's not do this today. Like, we're not doing this for Green Spring.
Isn't that like Reverend Idahosa's school?
Yeah, that's his school. Yes, that's
Who's
his
Reverend
school.
Idahosa again? What church is that again?
I have a boy that went to that school. What of it?
What's the name of his church again?
What church is that?
I forget the name of it. I forget the name of that
I
church.
don't know now.
It was a pretty and it was a pretty popular church too. What's it called?
Didi, I'll find
First
it.
time
Church of God Mission. That's the name of the church. Church of God Mission.
First time ever hearing World of Faith as a school.
It's not word though. It's word.
No.
World of Faith sound like boutique. This is a word.
That's why I
word
was
of
so confused. As a school. Okay. I think it's a Bible
It's
school.
one of those.
Okay.
It's not like I think it's like kind of like a low key. It's not like one of those like what's it called, the Fontage, Premiere,
Yeah, I think
Regents.
also because it's like a religious school, but yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a religious school. So like usually they are very good students. They're very uplifting. Good.
What do you know?
Look at this guy.
It's a very uplifting. Very fake guy.
Bro.
Uplifting.
Yeah, this is the guy I was talking about. Literally, people that will come and be kissing.
I see. He said
They
uplifting.
lick Okwuchi's ass right now, man. Guy,
I swear. Wait
No,
until next episode. You said that word of faith school.
No, you see that the craziest thing. I went to a religious school, CKC, and I know we're not uplifting.
Yuck! Can
in
we
any
stop
way.
comparing CKC to school? CKC is dungeon. It's not a school. Don't
Aye.
be bringing CKC.
Aye.
We've warned you. Yeah.
Didi,
Mm,
question:
yeah.
Do you have a crush? Do you have a crush on this nigga?
Who is this nigga?
The person where you dey enter right now. Do you
Yo,
have, do you have
truth,
like
I swear. I'm telling you.
because
Shoots?
troops
Yeah,
or
yeah, we
anybody
just have
will be
beef.
here.
We just have beef.
You just have beef.
Shoots?
We just have beef.
Emanuela? Yeah.
You know that pee that babes used to do back in the day. At least it's like
We know Nigerian women. You know, you
Yo.
guys are very backwards like that. Now, when you deband and they argue with person, that's when you really like them. So that's why I'm like
Exactly.
wondering. I'm just like,
They go
I'm
there.
curious.
Emmanuel, shut up. Stop saying exactly. What are you exactly here? Like,
because
are
you always
serious?
tell me,
See,
and I know.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. This right here. Yeah.
Oh God.
Guys,
I think it's opposite.
Guys,
Wait,
guys.
Didi, are you Igbo?
Yes, I'm Igbo.
Jeez.
Actually, I'm not Igbo. I'm from
Come
Delta.
on, yeah,
I'm from Delta.
Igbo.
That's
I'm not
close
Delta
enough,
Igbo.
man.
I'm Delta.
Okay, so you're half Coke, half Fanta. No wahala.
Yeah, that's why I am.
There's still that Igbo blood in you, so it's
It's inside.
Did you see that? I will
Yes.
never accept the fact that Daluchuku is not pure Igbo. Like, you guys should stop
That's
playing.
big Igbo.
My
now.
mom,
That's
my
big
mom is
Igbo.
pure. My mom is Igbo. Daluchuku. She's
That's what I'm
Igbo.
saying.
She named all of us. But my dad isn't Igbo. I don't even have an Ada name, and I'm the first girl to show how I'm not Igbo like that.
Yeah, that's.
It's like a must. All the Igbo
Yeah.
first daughters
Yeah, you guys
must
get
have
it done now.
Yeah, all Igbo first daughters have an Ada name. It's like a must, and
You
I
have
don't.
to.
And when I asked him, he said, "Sorry, what's that?" I said,
No, but
"Everybody
it's not all of them, Sha. It's not all of them that have.
But like you
Oh,
have
wow.
like you have like that subtle name that people know you as. Like, it's not your official name, but it's like that kind of Ada.
They'll just call you Ada.
Yeah, they'll call you Orioma, like all the
Ada,
names.
Mereme.
I actually have lots of family like where the first daughters don't even go by any of that.
They don't go any other.
Yeah,
Oh, but they have a
don't go by any
name.
of
But they have a name, no? They didn't give them a name.
They didn't give them like any name to like signify like, oh, you're the first daughter per se. No.
Okay, I need to change my lie then. I can't keep saying that.
You don't spoil it.
I swear. I have to change it. Okay. Noted. Interesting.
Didi, my PD, you guys want to introduce yourselves? We're like, what, 22 minutes in?
Oh, wow.
These
Okay.
niggas know us, man.
Yeah. I still want to introduce myself. Hi, everyone. Welcome to For Yans Only. It's Didi, Dalu, Queen D, Princess D, Manny D speaking to you. So, yeah. Thank you so much for joining and listening to this podcast. Appreciate
Oh,
y'all.
Nadi.
Oh,
Alright.
Yeah, so... Oh, no, please. Let's not do
when I
that.
say this
this
baby
episode.
don't do this now, you say something. Yo. As usual, man, it's Emmanuel, aka Manny P. You know, just here to shed light as I usually do, and you know, to put Didi in her place.
What, you see? Why are you coming for me?
Yo, let's try to make sure it don't get out of hand, man.
Okay. We'll see.
Good. But yeah, guys, it's Tricks here. The Yanacho one of the Ebonyi State.
Yuck. Actual disgusting. But okay.
Talking about Inacho, why did your guy represent us, man?
Bro, why did your guy represent us? Was he man like why did you?
They were not feeding the guy with balls.
Did you say semen?
Oh, you know, I said,
Yo, did it chill, man?
No, like... No, I didn't hear what you said. I just said, who is this? Just a simple question.
I said,
The title of this episode should be On Heat. That should be.
Let me hear ever do a
Okwuchi,
podcast with three boys.
Okwuchi, I
I
bet,
just
did you
want
watch
to
the
do
game? Did you watch the night?
I watched the game and I'll just tell you straight up the reason why we didn't play anything in that game is Eguavon. Like Baba does not.
Huh?
You know, at this point, anytime a Nigerian or African coach says he's like Guardiola, just like, say you don't cast. Because these niggas will say that nonsense and then come and be doing nonsense. Because Ian Acho should not have even started that game, first of all.
Exactly.
Of
Of course,
like
you
the
are
substitutions. The substitutions are off. Chukwueze shouldn't have played that game either. Like, I don't understand. Like, from that Tunisia game to that Ghana game, he has not shown any kind of tactical improvement. So
my friend was saying that all we're doing, because I watched like parts of the game, but I was at work, so I couldn't watch like the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
My friend was saying all we're doing was just cross and inshallah. That game.
No, that's exactly what we're doing.
Plan, man.
Baba started that game. He started that game with one midfielder. Who does that against Ghana in the kind game that you're supposed to win? And then after the fact, in his interview, he's not saying, "Oh, it's a very good result." I'm like, nigga, we didn't score an away goal. These guys are coming to our house. So if we draw, you get like if we draw, let's say it's 1-1, like just through.
There's a way go rule in World Cup qualifiers.
Wait,
There's a way go. There's a way go.
Oh shit! Okay, that's pressure.
There's a way go rule. So, and I'm just like looking at him like, dude, like you just totally blew like the shot. We didn't do anything in that game.
I sure this guy knows about the
Osimhen
way
didn't
go
even
rule.
get the ball. Like it's just it's not. I don't even.
But guys, I want to say something. Like I want to say, like the Ghanaians, like the Ghanaian fans, they showed up and they showed out. That stadium was vibrating, bro.
It was packed.
No, they knew what they were doing now. They knew what they were doing now, and that they did what they were supposed to do. You know, like pack the stadium is like do it in Kumasi where you know that people are actually going to show up.
Yeah.
That field, that pitch was fucked, straight up because Chukwueze got injured. Like nobody tackle him, like just based on the pitch. You know, he's out of this next game. They did what they were supposed to do. If Eguavon just got his tactics right, it would have been okay. But
So that means for this return leg, we should have taken them to like Benin Stadium, pitch like nonsense pitch.
Maybe the one where you go wipe shots, you go hit stone, come bend. You go.
Yeah, Chicks are sick, man. You guys are sick, man.
But I think in Abuja they'll probably do like an open gates thing where you know they'll just let people come in and it will.
No, yeah, most definitely Abuja is going to be
It will
packed.
definitely.
That place will be packed to the brim.
That place will be packed, especially now that they just
That's what we
finished
need,
APC.
man.
They just finished APC convention, so enough guys they Abuja right now.
Yeah, guys.
Enough guys they Abuja right now, so they will just
Yo,
wait
but
till Tuesday.
Bubu should not go and add mouths to this game. We should not go and wish the players luck before the game.
Which one be Bubu?
Anytime that guy adds his mouth before the game, it's always a long
It's
thing.
done. It's done after that.
Yo,
If that guy
that's
show
why,
face, maybe they just wipe him shots from that field. Just wipe him one shot.
honestly,
Did you watch the game? I'm sorry, like, did you watch the game today?
Me? I didn't watch the game. Oh. I knew the game was happening, but I didn't watch it. I don't like. If it's nothing on
Maduka was
Netflix,
not
I don't
playing
watch.
now. That's why.
Who is that?
Oh, no wonder.
Oh, that light skinned guy.
I
I won't. No, I won't even still watch it. Like if something isn't on YouTube and it's not on Netflix, I would not watch it.
But I
That's
swear this
what
game was on
YouTube.
YouTube. I swear this game was on YouTube.
Did you send it to me? You
You're
send
only
it to me.
Nigerian you putting flag in bio, man. Anything
I don't even
else.
have my flag in bio. I've never done that before. That's just
Wait, what's
nah,
this
that-
bio again? Let me even go. Let me go to
Stop. Let me go and check. Let me go and check my bio
Only
fast.
something like
Wait,
Daughter of Christ, Delta Bread.
you're such a hater.
Louisville schooled. Something crazy. What, like
You see, you guys are coming for me and I didn't even say anything. My bio is just sweet. I said, sweet girl. My bio is a sweet thing, you know. I put sweet girl, I put podcast, I put my email. I don't know why my email is there. I need to take that out,
Wait,
but
is
never know.
that email like same? Is that your email for your Interact too, or no?
Hey,
you know Nigerian babes. That's their this thing now.
it's not so. It's
Yeah,
actually a
that's
separate
signature.
email that I don't even check. I need to do that. I'll change it to Interact email. Put my Interact email actually. I need to do that.
On your wish.
You never know.
That reminds me of one of the babes that babe I used to date with the past, man. Any small thing, 1212, she has posted email say interact me. Yeah. Well, I couldn't even hold my head high in that relationship, man. But,
Which relationship? You are dating yourself. Calm down. Everything is in relationship. This guy is so extra. Okay.
Oh, man. But you know what? You see that nonsense that I did? The stairs with the flight and see the nonsense stairs they gave us. Our players were jumping from plane. Like,
How do you guys
Which
know
one
all
is
these
that?
details?
My niggas were frog jumping off the jet.
Yeah,
That shit was
jumping off the
crazy.
jet. God.
was
You
it
have
in
to
Ghana
be-
when they touched down?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Ghana, like they didn't have the platform set up like level to the door.
Exercise
So, like,
before
they
the
have
they
exercise
have to jump
before the
down
game.
from the.
Guy, the funniest one was when Aribo was jumping down. But you know Aribo, UK born and bred. The guy never see suffer for this life. After they jump. I say, bro.
Guys, don't you guys think that all those like things like mind games and fuck up?
Definitely
fuck
mind
before
games,
the
bro.
P? Yeah.
Did you see
No,
the
they
table
were
that
trying. They
did
were
this
trying
one
to play mind. They were trying to play mind games, you know. But yeah, just the same way the Jollof no enter, the mind games no enter either, because they. Okay, so the first thing that they did, right? They waited like until 3 days before the game to announce their squad. Like who are you doing?
Ah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, weird shit like that. And apparently, like, there was one kind of leak that they were planning on, like, having, like, doing COVID tests on the Nigerian team and, like, announcing that a bunch of our players are, like, positive. So, and that they want to poison our food. Like, I'm telling you, this came out in the media. I don't know where it came from. So, that they want to, like, do something with the food and stuff. So, you know what the team did? They came with their own personal chefs.
Rumor, man.
They came with their own chefs and they came with their own
dude.
third party COVID people to
Who did that? Ghana?
No, Nigeria.
This
Nigeria.
Nigeria, we can afford all that. I didn't even know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come on, there's World Cup money on the line. They will not risk it. That bonus is mad.
Plus chance for
Warriors.
So what does that mean for us? Are we out?
No.
We're still in the second leg is in Abuja. When is it on? Is that on Tuesday?
Okay, that one. Send me link. People should send me link. I'll watch. Send it.
You watch 90 minutes.
Tuesday, I'll watch it. I used to watch match now when they send me link. When they just send me link. Chelsea.
This one is not like Wizkid's. This is not like Wizkid's concert that you're videoing it from start to finish. I know that's what you want to go and do. You put it on Instagram from start to finish.
I'll put it on Instagram so that you don't know. And I'll be doing, oh my god, why is this guy? This guy should release the ball now. I'll now go and copy one of the lingos I've seen people post on your story before. Man, the way people be hyping me up.
Yo, Manny P, you are Afro Nation. How did you feel about Rick Ross replacing Burna Boy? How do you feel about Burna Boy cancelling? How do you feel about Rick Ross?
First of all, let me start off with Burna, man. Like, I've never seen like a more like unserious artist than this guy, man. This is the second time. This is the second time I've attempted
Burna Boy.
This is the second time I've attempted to go to his show, and like twice he cancelled both times.
How does that make you unserious? It's you.
Because
you have bad luck.
Did he fuck off? Because what's going on? Like you knew like the dates from time, and then like the one in Toronto where everybody was already there in the hall. They now announced the guy is not showing up because of Kiniko.
That's so funny.
Should they say he was stuck in Buffalo or something?
Something.
Yeah. They said something like that. Yeah.
That didn't make sense. This one, Afro Nation, the day before, I'll be the day of. It was now putting apology. I cannot make it. Blah blah blah. Dear Dami. I'm like, bro, fuck off, man. Like, you know about this P. Like, it was actually annoying because if you want to replace Burna Boy, not with fucking Rick Ross, man. Like, the guy was playing like 2008 songs like every day. I'm hustling. All I do is win.
But you see the thing, I watched someone else's story and they were even saying that Rick Ross's set was so good, that everything was so good. They had only positive things to say.
Positive. Rick Ross set was so
I'm telling
long.
you.
People were shouting next.
Wow.
Where is Techno? I beg, where is Techno?
Damn.
Yo, it was long as hell, man. Like, it was towards the end, and like I think, like Rick Ross is an OG because I could just tell that nigga, like, even his clothes were rumpled, man. They probably just buzzed him from Miami. That
like last minute, sharp.
Last minute, exactly. Because like I'm on.
But in my head, I'm like, bro, you have Techno as a headline now.
Yeah.
Why do you need Rick Ross? Like, fam, you guys know Techno is my goat. Like, just give Techno and call it a day, bro. Like, why?
Because Techno will not come and do more than 30 minutes, man, on stage.
When you join his dancing? Like,
I enjoyed it, man, but
performer.
Yo, Techno's performance, even like, if we talk about that, the guy will start a song. You know how other musicians will start, and then the DJ will mix into another song.
Yeah.
His own will start, the entire song will end. He will now go to DJ, he will now start a different song again. That one will end. There's one part, the guy said, towards the end, when the guy was about to end, the guy was like, I don't finish. The guy just dropped mic and left. It's like, bro, what's wrong with this guy? That guy is Raz, but the guy was like, I don't finish. The guy didn't left. I was like, everyone was confused. Like, they're not like, no, come on, because Techno has jams for days, but like, he didn't even get into it. So me, I was like, is it that they said they only paid him for 20 minutes?
Shout out!
I'm not going to work. I'm not going to spend an extra time on the stage. But like, I didn't know what was going in there, man. And Baba Wiz 2:30. The guy never show.
You're so rude. So he came, but you saw him though. Did you not see him?
Bro, you shouldn't have more pride than that. I left now.
Wait, so was it 2 or was it 3 that he pulled up? Because I saw somebody saying like he pulled up like closer to 3 o'clock or something like that.
No, it was after 2:30 because when I was leaving, that's when the guy was going, Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so he pulled up around
Around 2:30. He
Oh
had
my
flight at
goodness.
5, man. I had to catch that P. But
You
like,
know, I have a friend who's a promoter, right?
okay,
Yeah.
Mm.
And he told me like just with his own company, like Burna and Wiz have flicked on him like at least 2 or 3 times.
they always do that
Oh,
shit, man.
that's
Even
sad.
some
Isn't that
babes,
like bad for business? Like no people knowing that you're not going to
yes,
like,
nice,
keep the car.
unprofessional. Yeah,
No, but you
It
have to
is
understand
what.
something. Like these artists come from a place where like okay, even in Nigeria, for example, I was in Nigeria in December, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
I just got back like in February. I just came back in February. And throughout the time I was there, back to back, Burna and Whiskey, the concerts that they went for, right, or the performances or whatever, the flyers would be like 7, 8 o'clock,
yeah,
right? Like that's when the show is
yeah.
supposed to start. These niggas were pulling up at 1, 2 in the morning. I shit you not.
Bro, is it
Like
crack in
like
Lagos? They,
consistently,
where they live?
between Lagos and Abuja, like that happened like more than once. So these guys are in an industry where like 90% of the people around them are kissing their asses. Like I
Yeah,
saw Whiskey was running late. Meanwhile, DJ Tunes was saying um he said some nonsense, he tweeted some nonsense like Big Wiz is on the way, thank God. Like and I'm
yeah.
like, what like this nigga is late for something that they've paid him for and you're doing like
They
as if
did
he's
that
doing
same shit too.
they talking
Yesterday.
like saying a charity work
Yo,
thing they can't do for them. Like niggas pay for these tickets. And
yo,
you are
they were
saying
saying
praise
Wiz
God. Then
is. Man, they're saying Wiz is in the
then
building. 12, Wiz is in the building. Wiz is in the building. Until 2:30,
no,
Wiz is in
now
the building.
that's what they do. When Burna came to Chicago in 2019, they were like, "If you're ready for Burna, say yeah." As they were saying that all that one now, Burna boy
Yeah,
still they carousel. They wait for him back for airports. So like I don't,
yeah,
I don't know why they do stuff like this, especially with Wizkid, man. The truth of the matter is, Wiz is one of those people that if you're in the industry, you can't, especially the Nigerian industry, you can't say anything about Wizkid, right?
yeah.
While I was in Nigeria, I was talking to some people, and actually, AOT2. I'm sure you guys know who AOT2 is, right?
Yeah.
OG of the pod.
OG,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
was talking to AOT2, and we were talking about the backlash that they received after that Wiz episode. And AOT was just telling me, like, dude, like it was one of the worst experiences because there were people in the industry calling them behind the scenes and saying, all that stuff we want to talk not true, but like
yeah,
we can't back you publicly. So like these people
yeah,
threw them under the bus. People that knew all those things that they were saying
yeah.
about Wiz. And that's the only place that maybe Osaks fucked up because he was saying things that people in the industry know, but
Would
without
not
proof.
say. Yeah,
Without proof, it's just kind of like you're just
It's just like
talking or
just
you're
making
hating or
statements,
you're
yeah.
being bitter. He was saying it so passionately. That's because he knows these things, and nobody else was going to say them. So behind the scenes, people were like, "Yo, we can't defend you publicly on your own because nobody sent you
Chickens.
to talk these things." So
See, it's
that's
not that,
that's
but you're also
risky.
trying to. It's like a game. Like you probably don't want to follow with Whiskey. Like
You
think
don't want to
about it.
follow
No, you
Whiskey.
don't
If
want
there's
to
one
follow
person where
Whiskey.
he sure say he would never fall off, is Whiskey, and it's not.
yeah,
That's not even just on his ability as a singer, just like based on him. He will never fall off
Mm.
because anything that he drops, his fans will eat up. They love him. They love the shit out of him.
Yeah, we do.
But
yeah,
even on the business end, even on the business end, there are insiders that know that okay, when it comes to signing contracts and doing royalties and stuff like that, and giving producers their splits, he's not that guy.
yeah.
But
Whiskey know the pay producers,
the
man.
one time, the one time a producer spoke up against
Emmanuel.
it, the one time a
So
producer
them
said
big
something.
matter.
What's his name? North Boy. North Boy said something
Yeah,
Mm.
like 2, 3 years ago, and he was blackballed. Like you haven't heard any major songs with North Boy's tag
for
on it.
him, yeah. It's
It was
done.
just recently
Mm.
that Whiskey is trying to do this his More Love Less Ego album thing. He now called
Yeah.
North Boy to the studio to come and like record with him and stuff. And North Boy, obviously, you don't
You
care.
have
At
to
this
say
point, you're like
yes.
down bad. You don't care that
Yeah,
this
you
guy fucked
just
you
go.
over. You are
Yeah,
happy because you feel like you've gotten like a lifeline. And Baba was
yeah,
looking like, like it's like Stockholm syndrome. Baba was looking so grateful, to be there. And I'm like,
yeah.
man, it's messed up, but it's the nature of the industry. And like you guys said, it's politics, and you just have to not play the game. But that's just with shit, man. You'll be showing up late to concerts, and
It's very funny
that's just
how
what
I
it
have
was
heard
gonna be.
that. It's very funny how I've heard that whole producer stuff about Davido, not about Wizkid.
Really?
Davido does not even collect money for feature.
I don't even
feature. Will
think
not
they
take
will
1
collect
cent.
money. I don't even
He
think
doesn't
they
Okay,
will collect
now.
money.
Fresh Hell was saying
Okay.
on which episode? Fresh Hell, the episode with terms and conditions.
Okay.
They did
Okay,
like one of his
now.
biggest songs, Firewood. Davido did not collect 1 cent.
I didn't say anything. All I said is I have heard that is no that honestly I have heard that obviously it's not everyone he does it to, but there's people that he will, and then they won't be able to say anything, but that he also does that. So it's in the industry. It's not like it's one particular person, but okay,
No, absolutely. It's definitely like an industry
yeah,
thing. Like artists giving producers like
a
200K,
hard
telling them that
time.
they're giving them
Yeah,
like they should hold it because they're giving them exposure or something like that. That's why if you
yeah, they
notice,
don't
it's
pay
only
them.
in the Nigerian music industry that niggas that mix and master will be dropping tag on song.
You know, why I
You
always
know,
point out like everybody. At least make you remember me, make you remember me.
anybody will do anything on top that song will drop their own tag before the
Ew,
song finishes.
Nif
Bruh.
Kings.
You know, mixed by
Mixed
Foster. You know what I'm
master.
saying? Like, yeah, you like everybody will drop their own tag
That's so
because
true.
niggas know
That's
they
so
eat.
true.
You know,
True, bro.
niggas know they eat like through like the regular business. But as you know what, as this genre, this culture is growing, they won't be able to do certain things again. Right?
Mm.
There's a Burna Boy and Victoni song that hasn't dropped yet because these niggas use a sample on there from what's the name, Squid Game.
Eh?
Squid Game, right? Is that the name of the
I,
Netflix show?
yeah,
Yeah,
that
they should,
Netflix,
Yeah,
yeah, it
Squid
is.
Game, yeah.
Yeah, they sampled something from there, and so they haven't been able to get clearance yet. So the song hasn't dropped. It's a banger, by the way.
Is
But
it the one that
five,
Burna was previewing? The one everybody must chop breakfast.
no, that one is just Burna by himself. That's a Burna song.
Okay.
This one is the one I'm talking about is a Burna and Victoni song. It's like about Nyash,
Mm.
and the thing is that 5 to 10 years ago, like these niggas would have dropped that song, nothing will happen
Yeah.
because nobody was
Yeah.
paying attention. You
Yeah.
get, but now it's like at that point where like there's more money coming in, you know, like these record labels are starting to invest here, so they can't do the things that they were able to do. You know, like they are the pros and cons of the
Like for
culture
instance
growing
now,
and
but
stuff. So
see Go by Techno. I think it dropped to what 4 or 5 years ago. This guy sampled
Mhm.
50, and I'm very sure him and 50 probably did have a conversation about that sample, bro. Like
nah, they
literally
definitely
50 is on
didn't.
the hook. 50 Cent's voice is on the hook. Go, shorty, like fam. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, bro. I just
Exactly,
casually dropped it.
exactly. And these niggas are signed to these like major labels now, so they definitely can't do these things without getting clearance.
Yeah.
You know.
Because then the label, I guess, the lawsuit and everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess that also helps. So there's something that helps like the producers of those tracks to actually get their royalties too. So I guess it also helps those guys too, right?
That's why producers have to listen in this, like in the industry, everybody just has to secure their own best interests. You get,
Yeah.
like, if you sign with a label, make sure that they have your business in order. There's a lot of politics that goes on behind the scenes. I was talking to Tells from Lagos with Love. We interviewed him, and he was saying like, oh, when I think when Burna like called him over to the house or something, he just signed based on his Burna Boy. I was like, Baba, you know, read your contract. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you didn't really think
Sometimes you
about
just
what
get
it.
excited to get out.
Yeah, you're so starstruck.
Meeting. Yeah.
You're so starstruck. You get, and the problem is now they won't say anything at first when everything okay. Yeah, you're on the Grammy nominated album, but what now happens when shit is slow and maybe your Burna Boy has moved on in his sound or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe shit starts slowing up. That's when you now start hearing complaints and shit. I'm not like read your contract.
Say,
Doesn't
they
matter
don't
who is
pay me,
signing
oh.
you. Make sure say the thing where you sign like it's in your best interest and it's protecting your that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you would think you wouldn't have to tell these guys that. But, everybody go share the songs. Everybody go chop breakfast now.
bro. Or that year we is it Kiss Daniel that said he got is it how much 200 naira for which song that year now? How do you guys remember this shit? That was the wildest
Stop.
pee, bro.
No, he said he got. I think he said some amount like 100K or something that they paid him
I
for
don't think
the
it's up to
entire.
100K, man. I don't think
No,
it's
guy,
up to
it was like 6 figures in naira. Like no, it was actually like 6 figures in naira. Then I remember he was like, yeah, the house was it not that time he was signed. He was still signed to G Worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that.
Before I had to rebrand.
Bro, guys, did you guys see this?
Contract.
Did you guys see the live P? When Burna Boy said he's the highest paid artist. Like, fam, I was watching this thing and I think I understand where he's coming from. I think
highest paid right now.
Highest paid Afrobeats artist.
I mean, maybe the Grammy has like pushed his price up, man. So I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, like, but I saw Nigerians coming for him. In my head, I'm like, maybe he's actually the highest paid. I don't like the way Nigerians were trying to like movie that kind is not possible. Like it's
I
not
guess it
possible.
wasn't
It's not.
specific. It didn't say based on shows, based on endorsements. Like, bro, like if not endorsements, people get endorsements, man. But
Okwuchi, what do
if
you
it
feel?
shows,
Based on what
My
then?
thing, my thing is this: like, I don't know why grown ass men will be kind of pocket watching, like in that sense.
you
But
guys
here's
never
here's
know.
my, but my main thing is this. Okay, so when I realized, okay, we'll talk about Kanye for a little bit, and this is going somewhere. When I realized that Kanye had a pattern, right, I just
Yeah.
stopped like reacting to anything he said. And the pattern is that Kanye would go silent for like he can go silent for like a full year. And like when he decides he wants to drop a project and he has the name and everything and he's recorded the songs, then he'll come out and say some outlandish shit, right? You do like some crazy shit. You start
Yeah,
tweeting like crazy, like posting
yeah,
online and going on interviews saying some crazy shit. Then you drop the project, right? You build up anticipation for the project. The project drops. Then he'll go on an apology tour, right? Like he's done that consistently. Like if you go
an
back and
apology
look,
tour.
like the time when he was going off about with Khalifa online, and then Drake this, Drake that, and then when he was
Yeah,
fake running for president, he had projects that he had to promote. Right
yeah,
now, with this whole Kim Kardashian thing and all that shit, like he's dropping Donda 2. Right, he did a live session, but the album itself has not dropped. So he selects his moments. Like he might actually be bipolar, but he's not bipolar onto the point say in the meds. He's very strategic about when he will
yeah.
stop taking his meds, basically. And then I noticed that Burna Boy does the same thing. Burna Boy is going to drop a single pretty soon. I don't know when exactly he's going to drop it, but he has a single that he's cooking up right now.
But I was
If
literally thinking about that this morning. I was like, yo, Burna Boy is dropping music soon. Like
he's
that's the
dropping
only
music
reason.
soon. And if you notice, the conversation just came up so inorganic. You know what I'm saying? Like from where to where?
Yeah,
Like
like
who
it's
asked
so
you?
random. Like
It just came out of nowhere. Like this one, this one, this one. Like it was like, guy, you could have chosen. You could have chosen your spot a lot better.
yeah,
But again, because Nigerians, because he started on Twitter, then he took it to Instagram. So on Twitter, everybody was just like, of course, to start with the Whiskey and the video stands because they're stands. Stands,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was always
stand is
juggling.
Latin, right? If you
Yeah,
translate stand to English, it means meant. So that's what they're going to. They're going to do what they're going to do. So they were upset
yeah.
because they're like, "How will you say Burna Boy is the high? How will he say he's the highest paid? Blah 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 blah."
And now
He
the whole
chooses his
conversation will
moments.
start. You get that buzz around your name again. Once the
Yeah, and
single
it's just
actually
funny
drops.
because I feel like he doesn't need to do this, but he knows that he
Yeah,
has Nigerians wrapped, like most Nigerians wrapped around his finger like that.
yeah.
Like he just knows that the shit he says like makes their blood boil. So he's catching his screws. Like nigga was on a jet, doing Insta live,
Laughing. Yeah.
laughing. You know what I'm
Girls
saying? Somebody,
laughing.
yeah, this is somebody that said, "Oh,
Arguing.
him and Davido have they've worked things out and they're cool now." Somebody
Mm-hmm.
now
Yeah.
said, "Oh, do you have more? Davido has more money than you." He now laughed and said, "Where?" Like it's like, but then
Yeah,
him
just
and
to
him
start
and
over
Whiskey,
again. Yeah,
yeah, him and Whiskey are like buddies now, right? They have
yeah.
they have a joint project that's is supposed to that's trying to keep secret, but they have a joint project. Like they've recorded enough songs to put out a joint project,
Yeah.
and for a
Okwuchi,
while, like
they get media intel.
yes, actually, I do, I do,
Okay,
and so
okay.
and so as close as they are, like Burna Boy is like he hates on like there's a strategic way that he hates on Wizkid like publicly. Like
Yes.
when Wizkid did his own performance one time, was that last year or 2 years ago? Burna now came and was now saying like the same night was now saying that him is the king of performance. Nobody can touch. Like it's just like dude, like how are you making this about you? And he's
And
done
your
that like a
guy,
few
yeah.
times when Wizkid
I
was
thought it
doing
was only me that
something.
noticed this P, man. I'm like, are these guys even guys? Because Whiskey doesn't say shit about it. But when that boy we just do like
Whiskey is
slide,
just
like,
a sweetheart. He is.
Wizkid is not a sweetheart.
He's my
Let's
sweetheart.
let's be real. Just because person know the tweets or because then they tweet from Burna, no mean say okay. Let's put this into perspective. And I know that people grow, but just for some
He's a
perspective,
sweetheart.
a few years ago, Linda Keji posted. I forget what she posted about Wizkid. She posted something that he didn't like. Wizkid now went on Twitter and was like threatening the babe that you send these guys to rape her. Like
Oh
like,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
they not end up.
I remember that
Do
one. I
do
remember
wait,
do
that
you
one.
guys
what?
remember that? They not the
Yeah, I
next
He
day
said
they
do.
were
they
He
to
he
rape her.
finished her. Yeah, he did. I
Yeah,
remember
he
doing that
said. Yeah, then he said
KG.
these
Yeah.
guys will rape her. He said you rape her.
Jesus
He
Christ.
He
threatened that
finished
with
her.
rape.
This
Sha.
old woman that does not have. He finished her.
He
He actually
threatened that
came for her.
with rape. The next day they were now
He
with
raped you.
commissioner of police because I'm guessing Babe was like afraid for her life
Yeah.
because these towns, they now took one kind of forced stars picture. The times when the time before Whiskey like really realized that he's a star, like his own online activity shows that Baba, you do too much. Okay, during the NSAS thing, Ricardo Banks posted a link to
Oh,
a
that
song
one
they
was
recorded.
Yeah,
painful.
that
Still
one was
pains.
just
Hey.
Like it was like Baba, you don't have to
unnecessary.
do this. Like you don't have like like it was so unnecessary.
Nah,
Yeah.
that
It
one
was
was
so
painful.
unnecessary.
To this day, when
The
I
way he
remember
entered
that
him.
thing,
That was the first time I actually saw Diddy. Like Diddy was actually like, that was the first time Diddy was like, the whiskey was too harsh
Nah.
for Ricardo.
No, it was
yeah.
too
He was
harsh.
doing, he
Like
was
that
doing,
thing,
but
I was like,
yeah,
nah, that
so
one was too
unnecessary.
big.
Whiskey he was trying to pander. He knew what he was doing. He wanted to make himself look a lot better
Like one
in that moment.
activist, yeah.
At
No,
Nuh-uh.
Ricardo
more
Banks's,
music, oh.
you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. Okay, yeah,
yes,
the
that's it
protests
now.
were
No,
big moments, but life
Man,
doesn't
shit.
stop because protests are going on. You know what I'm saying? Ricardo Banks didn't do anything bad. I don't
Yeah.
think he was not the only nigga that was dropping music, but Whiskey just like entered him for no reason and then deleted the tweets before he knew anything.
Okay, I want to know who else did what Ricardo did during that moment. Let me know, please.
Who dropped music?
Who did? Yes, during the heat of, he came and said, "Guys, come and listen to me. It's the stream it." Who else? Let's be real. Who else did that? I'm not justifying what
nobody
Whiskey. Thank you. I'm not
nobody
justifying
that I
what
can
Whiskey
think
did.
of.
Yeah, I'm not justifying what Whiskey did, but let's be real. Who did what Ricardo did? I'm still
Okay,
yet to find out.
but let's just be honest. What's the worst thing that happens if Ricardo Banks is dropping music during NSAS protests? Like worst case scenario.
During even that protest, where if you
They'll
even
just
wanted
say
to go
it's
to work, they'll tell you
They'll
don't go
say
to work, don't
they'll
do
probably
it.
say that the timing.
No, that's cool,
was- they'll say the timing was off.
what's the worst thing like as far as effect? Like how does that affect what was going on outside?
It doesn't affect this.
I think
it doesn't discriminate.
It does.
If anything, it affects Ricardo negatively than it does the protest.
Yeah,
because
but
niggas are not paying attention to new music like that.
But you do know, is it the fact that it's because we said it, and yeah, he said it in the worst way. I don't support that again. But if someone else had said it, anybody would have said it to him and come for him because the streets were very hot that time. They would have come for him. So forget that thing. He shouldn't have said that at that time.
No,
it was wrong.
but it's one thing. But it's one thing if people that come for you for literally anything come for you, and it's another thing if a Wizkid comes for you. Wizkid, you have this nigga's number. You have a relationship with this guy in real life. You feel enter in. There are so many other alternatives to like. You could have easily had that conversation privately and say, "Hey, bro."
But even Ricardo could have had a conversation like, "Bros, I'm about to drop you some music." How far?
No, now,
but
that's not always how that works. When you record the song, and usually an artist will say, like in Nigeria, because it's not the same way in the States. Usually, there's that understanding that okay, this song will drop anytime, or sometimes they'll give an artist a heads up, not because they're asking for permission. Recording the song is usually the permission. It's on some like get ready to like promote the song and stuff like that. Like Ricardo Banks had a whole EP lined up and everything. Like a lot of us, most people didn't see these protests coming. Right? We didn't see the protests coming, and there are business decisions that have been made months before. There are business decisions that have been made months before. If you wonder why Ricardo Banks is so inconsistent, Baba doesn't really get a lot of financial backing. So he will drop a hot song and then he'll be gone for a minute. Then he'll pop back up after dropping some mid or something, and he has a hit song.
Very random.
Ricardo Banks doesn't get the best financial backing. So if you're in a position where like, okay, like these things have been put into place and your team is saying, okay, this is one we're going to drop, and these protests are happening. Yeah, like it's real, but at the same time, there's just some things that there are just some things that you're not just going to like totally dismiss based on that one. And plus, it's a song with Wiz. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm just saying like Wizkid didn't have to approach that P like that. The main point.
Can I be very humble? Just like for brief seconds, like brief moments, I kind of confuse Ricardo Banks with Kiss Daniel. Just want to put that there.
No, that's racist.
Brain, like,
that's racist because there's nothing about.
No. I don't mean it that way. I think the fact that they are both underrated and they both always have issues. To me, I assume they both have issues with labels almost every time, or it's like label cannot afford money or something. So I just always like mix them up in my mind. I'm like, wait, oh no, it's not Kiss Daniel. Yeah, it's Ricardo. Okay, yeah. So that's why. But I know the difference. Yeah, very random. But
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, even on
And then
Ricardo,
check
man,
it
let me
out. Check it out now.
look,
Last year, Ozumba and Badiwe dropped, right? And Ricardo made a reference to NSAS, and all has been forgiven clearly. So it's just like, is anybody
so
holding me
how
for
far
that?
that we
For that?
song?
He took it off his EP. Actually, he ended up taking it off his project.
Swear.
Child.
That's
So we
Yeah,
never
he
hear
took
it.
after I
he
don't
took it
enter
off.
you, after I
No,
don't
but see,
enter you go still
but
drop
I
the song.
respect him for that, because if Ricardo Banks was
Yeah.
the kind of person that was kissing us, he would put that song out anyway.
Yeah.
He completely scrapped, like, it's like the song didn't even exist, unless maybe you
But-
put one of these, like.
When he paid for that
Then-
song, go.
Almost some things are bigger than money, sha, honestly.
Yeah, sometimes your pride.
Like,
It's like somebody disrespects you like that. It's like, like, and again, also remember that not too long before that, Burna Boy entered him. Because Burna was talking about niggas that can't come close to him, like
I'm matching.
Oh yeah, that can
Him or something.
He added his mouth.
Oh, I think it was. I think he was talking about verses or something.
people that
Then
can't
Ricardo
come,
now-
come for him.
Yeah, I was talking about like verses or something like that. Then
He
Ricardo
was.
Banks. Now like it's just Banks now.
That
I
year
don't
was
think even
tough for him.
Yeah, it was very
was
tough. I don't think
Everybody
Ricardo Banks
they
thought
entered
that
the
he would brush. Yeah, and then Burna Boy was now
They
going
don't run through
on
the guy,
him.
man.
Burna Boy
Yo,
was now
pause,
going
bro.
on him like crazy. So
No, but that
two
song was
of the
even
big
wilder
three-
than Wiz's, man.
two of the big three have gone in on you on Twitter, man. I don't blame that guy for just kind of being on his own, because it's like almost that kind now continental breakfast with that. You don't chop belly food.
That was wild,
I don't blame him
bro.
at all. So I say all that to say that people have this perception that Wizkid is not insecure because he doesn't reply to tweets. Yeah, Wizkid might not reply to your tweets, but guess what? His manager will just send
All
out
humans.
some
All humans.
his manager will send out some DMs in the WhatsApp group chats, the Wizkid FC John, and then they will now attach your tweets there, and then they will enter you. Niggas will be shocked when they don't even at Wizkid and they maybe just subbing you, and then FC still enter their mention. It's because they have their own little collective where they like.
Wizkid
they know when
FC
they
should
go
be the
enter you.
scariest team, bro. Like, bro, like, God, if I was on Twitter, but that's one team I'm not disturbing, bro. Like, that's one fan base.
They could do all right,
I'm not
man.
watching, bro.
They go do okay, man. I'm not afraid of them niggas, man. Like
Honestly,
I look at them as people that are mentally ill. That's all. How you carry person for your head like that. What's crazy to me?
Yeah.
These niggas will be arguing every day, calling Davido frog and everything. At Wizkid's concert here in Chicago, they were playing Davido's music. DJ Tunes was opening with Davido's music. So I'm like, these niggas are, they are clearly not carrying this thing like personally
on their own
themselves.
head,
But
man.
you wait they could do or something. You know what I'm saying? They do like say you be Wizkid's senior brother. Like it's just weird. It's weird shit. So when I look at these things, like I laugh. Exactly. It's weird. It's weird. So yeah.
Might be you were saying something.
No, I'm not going to say even on that whole Wizkid insecurity P. And thank God you even brought this whole frog voice P. Remember when you were subbing Davido now about frog voice? You know, said about passport.
That was on Twitter too.
Passport.
That was on yeah. That was on Twitter, and then Davido now responded on that song with Olamide now. Somebody.
Yeah.
He said with Yankee passport, they say we local. Like that was shooting back at Wizkid. So this whole Wizkid is not he's not insecure. He doesn't. No. He just stopped tweeting. That's all. Nobody say Baba no send. Anything he's saying is behind the scenes. But,
He's peaceful now. That's what you should say.
Cheers.
I know if you want to agree.
Yo, guys. I have a question. Has anyone listened to Rema's album? By the way, Manipia, how was Rema's performance?
I missed Rema's performance, man. I can't see the reason why, based on,
okay.
I missed the performance, man.
Did you see Omale perform?
Omalé's performance was probably. So let me give you my top 3. Omalé's performance was probably top 3, man. When this guy was singing, rain started falling.
Yeah.
And then the guy was just giving us jams, giving us entry. And when it's everything I do, why under, and if it's I was just thinking about
Under rail,
babes,
how is
man.
that fire?
Understand, and you know you have that babe now that she was doing you anyhow. And that time you guys were a bit toxic relationship now, so you're just thinking, anything you do, why under, I don't think you understand,
Guy, how was yeah, you finish your top three, I beg. Finish your top
three, I beg.
Omale, number 3, Omale, 2, techno for sure. Like, not even based on like the quality or anything. It's just based on vibes. Because techno, I don't know, man. His performance was weird. All that stats and stuff, shit. But like, I guess maybe he didn't rehearse or something. And then, obviously, the best niggas with the show come to show on time.
The baddest.
OBO.
I thought you would say P Square even.
P Square, they do.
P Square,
These
they
my
were doing
people.
the most.
Do me.
P Square, they do to me. P Square actually did choreography, bro. That shit was.
I love them.
Wow.
I love them.
So they'll do like, so they took out the DJ. They had their whole like instrumental sets and whatever. So like
nice.
what they did is that they would sing the song first. And then after they finish the song, they will now play it with the actual beats and stuff. So they repeated like each song like twice. And like me, I don't know, man. I've not been to a concert like that. But me, it was kind of weird for me. I was like, bro, like we just heard this, man. Like what?
I'm not going to lie, but I know this defeats the essence of like going to a show, because my friend was explaining to me that going to a live show means you're trying to enjoy the live performance. I prefer a DJ set with an artist than live band. Like,
yeah,
bro,
same,
I
bro.
hate
That
band,
live band, I beg. I allow it, man. Like,
I want to hear the actual beat. Like, I want to hear the beat, the way it was produced. That's what made me like it. I don't want to hear Papa Tikpopo. Like, fam, I'm not hearing that beat, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, then Davido's performance, energetic as usual. Like the quality, everything top notch. And this time, Iku did not use not just okay, so everything. Even like in the whole Puerto Rico P, like it was just vibes, because I saw Iku like 3-4 times. Once was just
like casually,
just chilling, bro, like a regular guy. I was on the beach. The other one, Naramali was playing ball with people on the beach too. One of my guys ran into him right now outside of our Airbnb, like today, literally.
Mali. How was Mali's performance, by the way? I saw him performing to bring.
Yeah. Mali's was probably number 4 then. That was, bro, it was hard, man.
I was doing some dance move, backup dance and singer together.
But you know the piece that, and this might be, I don't know if it's controversial, but I feel like a lot of Nigerian artists, they don't really know how to perform. Like, they just have hits. So like normally he can dance and all, so that's cool. But like some people, like, they just have hits, so like that's what's really saving them. Because basically, like, no one's like, all they just have to do is like, they'll just give them like, she say, what did she say, you understand? Not that I'm sucking anybody, she say, and everybody else will just, chime in.
Basically, the audience does the performing. They just chill.
Because they know your lyrics word for word. Like, imagine Davido now when he played Aye, bro, like, I was never looking at the stage, man. I was just in another zone. I was just singing it word for word. And to me, that's the best performance ever. So
there was... Did OVO perform like the throwbacks? Did he perform any throwback?
He did Aye. I guess Aye is a throwback. He did,
Aye is a throwback. I mean, from like the Genesis. From the Genesis. Did he perform?
I think they did Ekuro, I believe.
Oh, okay.
They did Ekuro. And Damiduro, obviously.
Cheese. Damiduro, cheese. That's in there when you hear boom boom.
Bro, that beat.
Just move your feet.
Emma Damiduro.
Oh man.
Who else? I saw Afrobeat too. Like,
was it good?
I guess.
I saw him randomly on the beach, man. My guy was like, let's go say hi to him. I was like, I'm a regular guy, man. But yeah, that's how casual it was, bro. Like we're just bumping into stars. Only obviously them Davido guys. Like,
did you explore the city Apart from like the whole this thing,
Guys,
did you
I'm so
explore?
confused. How was Rema's performance? You didn't answer that. When
I
did you
missed
start
it.
He said he
exploring?
It
wasn't
was
there. He
here.
said he wasn't
I
there.
Then
missed
let's
it.
then let's talk about Rema's album. This
Oh
guy
yeah, let's talk
don't
about
care about
Rema's
his
album. Let's talk about
Did you
Rema's
explore
This
album.
is always hating on all my trips, man. This is the same thing that happened when I got back from Cancun, Abi, Abuja. They're asking me questions. Diddy's like, nobody cares, man. Yo, Diddy, you have to book your
like
flight.
I did. You have to stop doing this, man. Like, remember when
first
you
of all,
went to
come on.
London? We asked you how was Heathrow, how was the
Come and take me to
Queen.
go and
We
make
cared
my hair
about you.
first. Then we can talk about that. I've told you, I've booked my
Diddy,
appointment.
you're not sounding financially independent right now. What's
You're
going
very
on, man?
stupid. I said take me. I didn't say
Did
pay
they,
for
did,
it.
did they lay you off? Did they lay you off work?
You're very foolish.
But yeah,
Rema's
who has
album.
listened to the Rema's album? Okwuchi, have you listened to this thing? Man, P. Personally, I haven't. So I want
Yeah,
to.
I've definitely listened to it. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the album.
Okay, Man, P. Diddy, have you listened?
Since Okwuchi has media intel, I
I've
don't
not
know,
listened to
but
it. I'm
Okay,
not even
Diddy,
going
Diddy,
to
you're,
lie.
me and you are in the same boat. We've not listened. Manny P.
I've listened to it, man. Amazing production.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh.
They have like
Yeah,
bang. Yo, I all in all, I love the album, man. I don't really have like an actual opinion yet, just because like it just dropped, right? Like I kind of take time first, but like also I've played it a few times, and like I have like personal favorites. I feel like it was constructed well too, from like start to finish. But besides that, I don't really have like anything that I can say like maybe it's a classic or is it the top album in Nigeria? Not yet, at least. Like I need to hear it a few times. Plus, obviously things around it. Let's say like I hear it in the club now, it sound a bit different from like when I heard it like on my headphones and stuff. So I have to give it a little bit more time. But yeah, Kochi, what do you think about it?
Okay, just so I don't make this a longer conversation, I'll just talk strictly about the album.
Yeah.
Amo,
When I talk about, did you want to talk about like the hype around it or what? Because I feel like you had to.
Yeah,
Okwuchi, just
definitely,
Speak your mind. Speak your mind.
definitely.
Speak your mind. Speak your mind. We did.
Okay, I just don't want to chop too much time on the mic.
Yeah.
But okay, so leading up to the album, right? There was okay for me, I had like very huge expectations. I had like high expectations because Rema has just been that person since the time he broke out. He's been an artist that I've paid close attention to. And at the certain points, I was even telling my boys like, if like out of the new school, Rema is the most, for a lack of better words, liable or the most probable to win a Grammy, right?
Yeah.
Because I just believe in the sound like that. During the pandemic, he dropped Woman. He dropped. I think Ginger Me dropped during the pandemic too, right?
Ginger Me Bounce.
I think. Yeah. So he dropped Ginger Me. He dropped Woman.
Okwuchi, before you continue, I just want to say, Manipi and I had this. We had like a debate on who is going to be the next up. He said Rema. I said Bella Shmurda. I said
It's not Bella Shmurda. I'll tell you now. It's not Bella Shmurda.
It's not Bella Biko. No be
I
Bella.
said
It's not Bella. It's not Bella.
But yeah,
It's not Bella.
continue. Like, but I still have my reasons why I think Bella Shmurda connects more than Rema. But sorry, continue.
Bella Shmurda
Connects with who?
He connects with the streets. He connects with the streets of Lagos or like Nigeria. But outside,
Please don't
outside
mention
Nigeria-
Lagos.
Global sound.
outside Nigeria, Bella Shmurda is not really. He's not the guy.
Yeah.
And
That's
from
just-
all
it's
these
just the truth.
festivals and concerts, you would know, like a place like Puerto Rico, now if Bella Shmurda was to go there, all the Nigerian guys will do their best. All the other island guys will just be like, what's this guy saying? You get. But Rema, global
Yeah.
sound, when that guy plays Dumebi, even if Dumebi is saying anything like in our lingo or whatever, everybody is vibing to Dumebi. Everybody is vibing
Right.
to Bounce. Everybody is vibing
Right.
to Woman. When you're big, you're big,
Mhm.
forget.
Okwuchi,
That's
continue.
facts. No, facts. So he dropped Woman, a certified banger. What we know we love Rema for is like his own brand of lamba. Just
Yeah.
straight up. Like, and he's good like on the Afrobeat tip. We know he can rap too, but like
Yeah.
the majority of people are not really looking to him for like the trap shit. Like it's for that Afrobeat lamba. So based on those drops, I was like, yo, okay, this album, like, I'm really looking forward to it. Then Bounce dropped, and I was like, I don't know about this one. But then they were like, oh, it's not dropping, it's not on the album. All right, cool. Then when the album single started dropping, Soundgazing, I was like,
Mm,
Soundgasm is not a bad song, but I'm not like a big fan of Soundgasm
crazy.
because
Yeah, me too.
I'm like
I don't really.
I'm like it's too slow, and I was just like I saw it for what it was, which is an effort to like it's like a crossover thing, like you trying to appeal to foreign audiences and stuff.
Yeah.
Then the next single, like it took a
Calm
minute, but
Down.
then Calm Down dropped.
I don't
Okay,
like
I
Calm
was
Down.
like,
Calm down,
I'm
certain
like,
man. But
calm down is like like a dollar store Soundgasm. You know what I'm saying? It's like a cheap. It's like part two, and I'm like, I'm like, all right, man. Like, I hope. So at this point, I'm like, my expectations are going down because I'm like, it's now sounding like you want to give us album full of acoustics or something. Like what is this like a
Wow.
Valentine's? Like I'm like looking at it like I don't want these slow songs. I want songs that will get me hype. Like songs like Lady and even Iron Man, that was a slow song, but that one is still it has that kind of ginger to it.
but that's why it's called River Roses now. That one not the rose now.
No, no, it's no, not that time. But you go just call on roses because at that point it's like two of your singles. Now rose,
Yeah.
you
Now
get na
rose,
lovey
rose.
dovey
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying? And when
Yeah.
when Rema had done a live on Instagram live, he was like saying that he's not rapping on it. He's going to be. He was saying it's Afro rave or whatever the fuck. When you think of rave, you're thinking like hype now. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
you think of hype like you're jumping, like it's like dancey shit.
Yeah.
The album dropped and I listened to its production on most of the songs. I fuck with it. I don't like the arrangement of the song, sha. The arrangements,
I like
not
the
it.
production.
There are too many songs that feel like filler on that project.
Oh my gosh, I was going to say it. If it's 16 songs, I won't listen to it. Please.
Yeah,
16. I keep
there are
saying
So
songs
wait,
that
you guys, is your own issue
16.
the number? Because this always comes up whenever there's an album that's more.
no,
than
they
like
don't see the number is not an issue. If you have
It's an
16
issue for
bangers,
me.
if you have
Okay.
16 albums, nobody will complain. It's when it now
But you
your album now
can't.
starts
You
to feel
won't.
like a chore. And it's also about the duration of each song. So if you have like 4-minute songs, like 4 songs in a row, then it starts to
Yeah.
feel like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's a stretch. Also, I've never really looked at Rema for lyrics per se, right? But like the way he was rhyming on this album in some songs, like it wasn't even rhyming. Like you say a line, then you're waiting for the rhyme, then the rhyme doesn't come, it just says another thing. Like, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like I'm not expecting you to be super lyrical, but you're not really putting a lot of thought into
But
some of these lyrics.
but Okwuchi, one sec, to play devil's advocate, because me, I'm a huge techno fan. So I feel, because I've always been of the opinion that the same Lamba pass we're giving techno as Nigerians, we're also giving that same Lamba pass to Rema.
No.
They cannot say anything.
Bro,
I can't-
techno
I
and
Even
Rema literally said.
Emmanuel, you people that used to tweet
I
and say
can't
his
give
lyrics
you
here.
I can't give you that one.
Rema's lyrics.
I can't give you that one because when we talk
Rate
about
it.
Lamba, you can't box Lamba like that. There are different grades. The same way you get weed, but you get Canada loud. You can't get Arizona. Like
Yeah.
there are different strands and different brands of Lamba.
Yeah.
Techno's Lamba is just like Techno could be watching like the Discovery Channel right before he enters the booth. You now talk about a monkey that is swinging off a tree. It has nothing to do with the song, but he just throw it. You just throw it in there. When on that Beyonce album, what was Techno saying? He was like, I don't even know what the fuck that nigga was talking about, bro. Like he was just talking. Like Techno. In fact, I'm of the opinion that Techno is tired of music. Straight up, Techno does not give a fuck. He does not give a fuck. That his album was trash. And it's not even me. It's trash.
Yeah,
That his
that
album
even
was,
makes
like,
sense
whack
because
as
even
fuck.
his performance, man, like I gotta finish his
performance
performance.
guy.
I
The
don't
last
end.
single
I
that he
don't finish.
dropped.
Yeah,
Have you heard the
but
last single
but
that he
guys, we're saying, oh, To Maybe is a banger. To Maybe is not lyrically the best song you ever hear. It's a
I'm so
Lamba.
sorry.
that's-
Can
no,
I
but
speak? Sorry.
Okay,
So
go
it
ahead.
didn't
Can I
help.
Go
speak?
ahead.
I'm finding
Go
it
ahead.
very hard that Trooks and Emmanuel are saying this because people always come here saying, "Oh, Rema, oh, did you hear that lyrics he said? Did you hear that lyrics?" So for you guys to come here and say that he's not lyrically strong, I'm confused because you guys always hyping
I've
Rema.
always said I don't listen to Rema. That I've always been of that opinion.
Okay,
I
then I
never
guess it's
listen to Rema.
Emmanuel
It's
because you guys are
I
always
always
hyping
say
Rema.
the only-
I've always said I fuck with Rema's music. I've never said I fuck with his lyrics. Did what I trying to do?
Okay, I will go back and re-listen to all these episodes. I will go back and I'll catch you. You know I'm petty, but sorry, continue.
No, Didi, what I always say is Dumebi is one of the best songs I've ever heard from Africa.
Yeah, that's
But
what-
I
that's
don't
what
I don't
Chelsea
listen to Rema.
says, yeah.
I don't listen to Rema. Like I think Rema is like EDM Afrobeat. Like he's like EDM infused or
See,
Afrobeat infused
what-
EDM, whatever.
See, that even brings my next question. What do you guys think about this? People say there's Afro beats, Afro rave, Afro pop, Afro this, Afro that. Like what's going on, man? What do you guys think about that?
Like,
It's just I don't
People don't have their sound
honestly
yet.
it's
They create it.
anybody can say anything. At the end of the day, it's us as listeners that will tell you what we're hearing. I'm just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can say Afro anything. Like Afro Rave now, I was in a Twitter space and they were asking ravers, which is Rema stands, they were asking them to explain Afro Rave and they were chopping mouth. And I had to be like, you know what, Afro Rave is just is anything. There's no definition to it. Like so it's important not to even stick to the titles of these things and just like go based on what it is that you're hearing. It's the same way in America now. Like I don't know, within the past 5 to 6 years, it's like it became uncool to be called a rapper. Call a rapper, they'll say I'm not a rapper, I'm a rock star. You did Chris. You know what I'm saying? Like so so everybody's giving themselves their own title. Let them talk. It's about the product at the end of the day, you know. But like I was saying, yeah, Rema has never been the most lyrical, but there are different ways to do your own lamba. You get like so Rema has always been that person that even though he's not the most lyrical, but he's still, you still say some things that you're like, yo, that line right there. Like, like on Woman, when he's talking about, you can't bring your phone in, maybe no go see me for blog, that kind of thing. Like it's not like some lyrical, it's not like some
something that we
crazy shit.
enter based on
But
guys,
he entered because
we
it's
know
like,
what
even
running,
as a regular guy, if you don't want to be that
Yeah.
guy that, that
Exactly.
you're caught in a private, so like he enters, or
Or no be
like
Netflix
African
and
girl
chill
come
when
and
me I
hub, it
come
might be,
for.
me, I
Yeah.
get something's on passion, like just like stuff like that. Like it's just like it's hard, like it's nice, but it's not lyrical. So on this project, it's like he's trying even less, and honestly, it reminded me a lot of Wizkid. As much as I don't like to make that comparison, it reminds me of that laid backness. There are even some songs on that project that sound like they have like a whiskey, like from an old Wizkid song.
Is it kind of like
thing.
Wizkid's
Oh my god, someone
Ayo
said
album?
this.
There's a
Someone
song from
actually said
Wizkid's
this.
Ayo's album. There's one song with Banky W. Is it Wine? It's called
Oh my
Wine,
god,
right?
I know
think
the
it's
song
called
you're
Wine.
talking about.
There's a flow. There's a flow he used on one of the songs, or on the album.
Someone actually
that
said
sounds
that on
like
their
Wizkid's song
Instagram
Wine.
story. Yeah, someone
really?
actually said that it's very funny how someone said that how like Wizkid, this album was very much like they could feel like Wizkid Rema in the same mental space when they were doing this album. Someone said something like that, and how some songs were like they could imagine Wizkid on it basically.
I think like
That's interesting. And I try not to make those comparisons because I feel like everybody compares any new artist to Wizkid, but like
True.
I couldn't turn my ears away from like what I was hearing. Like some of the songs were giving me that Soundman Volume 1 type thing. Like there are a lot of slow songs on this genre. I was really hoping that Rema's first project would be like an Afrobeat heavy project. Like full of actual bangers, like songs like Fresh Young Nigga, for example.
That means I'll
I
like
just
it
feel like
though.
that
If there are
song.
lots of slow songs, I'll like it.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, no,
Yeah.
that's fair. But I came into it like years of anticipation and stuff. I wanted like bangers, even if they're slow. Ginger Me is not really a fast song, but it still entered. I was really hoping for that kind of his brand of lamba, but it didn't really come through like that on this project. So I'm not going. It's not a trash album, but I expected a lot more from Rema, and I think he underperformed on this album. To be honest with you.
Okay, see. So Didi, Didi now? What you should do now is you gotta listen to it. Me personally,
Mine is it's
Yeah, Didi,
16.
continue.
You guys know how I'm so on about EPs. EPs are the way for me now. 16 songs. I'm going to even slip off after like 2 or 3. Like just the fact that I have to listen to 16 it just like it kind of puts me
Yeah,
off. Like,
yeah,
if you
but
cannot cut down 16 to top 10, you can't tell me, oh, you thought all your 16 will bang. Let's be real. There's no way you thought that.
yeah,
So
but
if
Didi,
you couldn't
sometimes,
cut
but
it
you know,
down,
you're signed to like a label that says, oh, we need this
you have to
amount of
produce a
albums.
particular.
Yeah,
Wow.
this number of
I didn't know
albums.
that.
I
So
don't know if
that's
Rema is signed. Like
interesting.
Okwuchi, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if Rema is signed, but I'm just saying like
Yeah,
usually.
he signed. Yeah.
So exactly.
Yes,
So
I didn't know this. I didn't know they specify stuff like that. But like, just keep it short. Max 12. Like, well, don't be giving me 16. In fact, if you give me 5, 4, perfect. I listen to it. Boom, straight to the point. I can repeat it 10 times, and that's it. The only person that can give me 16 and I'll listen to is Whiskey. If he gives me 22, in fact, I'll listen to everything,
nigga,
every
you
day, every
crazy.
night. Yeah.
Nigga, you crazy.
But
That's
I'm
all
not doing that
I'm
for
saying,
anybody.
bro. I'm not hearing she
Yeah.
tell me she tell me say 22 times. You cannot make me listen to that 22 times. But the songs are fire will be fire. I'll give you that. Oh
Sure,
my
yeah.
god. But yeah, guys, as we are rounding up, did anyone see the portable endorsement with Obi Kubana? Just random. Like, I don't know why I added this to the list, but it just felt very fascinating. How much they give portable? 50M to be
50 million.
50 million to be
Is it to be advertising one drink like that?
to be advertising Odogu bitters, the drink.
Stop.
I
50
swear,
million.
50M for
Wait,
Odogu
like
For
bitters.
what?
as per like they actually put the figures out there. Like
They put the figures
50.
that he was in the office. You now see the pictures, him and Obi Kubana, everyone was down there. It was like 50M. I've forgotten who captioned it. I think it was Portable that said, yeah, something that kind, God don't bless me, 50M. Shout out to my boss, something like that.
50 million for what?
Oh, God,
Even Portable, the song that for what? The song that he's on. Every time he gets his part, I skip it. Only Olamide's part I like. So I skip it. I stop the song. After Olamide's Bado snare, after that I stop it. So
I won't
why
even
is he
lie. There
getting
was this song that Portable dropped recently. The second verse is actually really nice. Like, I know that's very specific, but yeah, the second verse I think is or go forever, something like that. The second verse is actually nice. Like, but
He sounds like he's auto-tuned. Portable, I don't know his sound. It sounds very
it's like
auto-tuned.
he says like Afro Fuji because the guy there was this interview I was watching, this Portable interview, but this is probably one of the funniest things I've watched in a minute, bro. like Portable, they asking Portable question in English. Baba is replying Yoruba. I said vibes, bro. Like shit was just crazy, bro.
Serious vibes. LOL.
Oh my god. But yeah, guys, what Okwuchi, usually like towards the end we ask everyone what they've been listening to this week, and I know you wanted to talk about a new song that just dropped as we're recording. So yeah, what have you been listening to this
okay.
week, guy?
What have I been listening to this week?
Yeah.
Okay, within the past week I've been listening to a lot of Ghanaian drill.
Ghanaian has
And
drill.
Okay.
wait, you don't that's Ghana's thing right now. Like there are a bunch of young niggas that are like, and they're actually good. It's not like, some bullshit. Like these guys are actually rapping their asses off on drill beats. So I've been listening to a lot of that, and then for the most part, I mostly listen to music from relatively unknown artists like Afrobeats artists. Like, do you guys want me to call like a specific song or something?
Yeah,
call names.
like pause on the underground guys. Like what already.
Especially like the Ghanaian drill part too. That one might be interesting.
Okay. For the Ghanaian drill part, okay, there's there are a bunch of songs here. Okay, I'll go with Long Distance Relationship by J Bad.
Yo, Ghanaians are actually so funny. Like their lyrics, their lyrics are actually so funny. Just even from this title now, this is going to be like.
It's a very Ghanaian title. It's a very Ghanaian title.
Long distance relationship. Oh God. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
actually
it's a
seeing
good
it
one.
on my Apple Music right now.
By
Yeah,
J Bad. J Bad and Reggie. Do you guys play music on the pod?
Now for potential copyright issues.
Issues.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did run that one.
Okay. Yeah, his name is J Bad, JAYBAHD. And if you just like look up a bunch of his other songs, you'll find the rest of the other guys on there too.
This is cover
give me
art
a
looks
sec.
like Demono.
Do you listen to YOUUU? I can't pronounce this thing. Is it YOUUU?
No, Yao Talk is not one of those. he started off being one of those guys, but he's not
Yeah.
really. He hasn't really followed it up. Like he hasn't really been dropping like great music. He just dropped a song with Bad Boy Tim's called Azul, and he was singing and using auto tune. And I was like,
Oh.
wait, are you not like a drill rapper
My
anymore?
guy is
I
going
guess
mainstream, man.
Mama went mainstream commercial.
yeah,
She's like
yeah. So
commercial
Yautog
vibes.
is just like he's just doing whatever he feels like in the moment, or he's trying to see what is going to stick. I don't think he's really trying to go into the rap thing like long term.
What else was I going to say? How is Black Sheriff considered a drill rapper? He's just a good artist. Like he's a really because that guy
No,
sound is unique.
he's not a drill rapper, but he's the person that has that his flow and his voice.
Bro.
It just works. Like it just really works. Like that guy is unique. And when the whole thing about Nigerian artists not really promoting Ghanaian artists thing was happening, I was just laughing because throughout our history we've shown that we're accepting of other African acts as long as your music banks. Like there's no like, xenophobia does not exist in Nigeria on that end, right?
Yeah.
So we saw it with VIP when if you I don't know if you guys were in secondary school
VIP
or
Two
primary
Face
school
now.
then.
VIP with
VIP
Two
Two
Face.
Face, right?
Yeah.
We saw that Cabo Snoop came, he
True.
did
There
his
was the
thing.
Cabo Snoop era.
Yeah. There were actually two Cabo Snoop songs that popped off. You know,
One neck.
in fact, let's even go back further than that. Awilo is not Nigerian. There was a point where niggas thought Awilo was Nigerian,
Yeah.
I
but
thought he
Awilo
was.
anytime. Exactly. Awilo, like, is, like, he's that's a classic artist and he's from a francophone country. So throughout our history, we have never been those people that want to stifle you because you're not Nigerian or anything. If the music bands, we don't give a flying fuck where you're from. So two Ghanaian artists that I think Nigerian youth have really embraced are Amare and Black Sheriff because they are so unique. And because we just have the ears for it. To the point where they call Amara now, they call her Amara. Because like she knows that her main fan base is Niger and she she's
Wait,
with
that
the
baby's
Naija
not
fans.
Nigerian.
She's Ghanaian.
Hey, well,
You see, exactly. You see, this is.
But
this
that's
one.
exactly my point.
Yeah.
That's exactly my point. We
I didn't know that
we take if
one.
you have great music, you're
We just
welcome in
accept
Nigeria.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, Black Sheriff is like he's in Lagos like mad. I think he was even trying to move to Lagos. Like the guy is in Nigeria heavy. So, it's like, hey, it's like really good music. We'll accept it. If I'm going to put you guys on, actually, I should actually do a volume 3 of my playlist, but I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to check out the other two I've done. Like, there are a bunch of songs there from. At the time when I made that, okay, just on I think it's on my Instagram. If you follow the link on my Instagram and my Twitter, you can listen to those songs. Like, and a lot of like artists have popped off from there. I had Omale on that playlist before he popped off. I had Magix on that playlist.
Oh, Magic's my baby.
Did he make sure no? I beg.
Oh,
I just love slow songs like Oxlade and stuff like that. I love those vibes.
Oxlade is a dope artist too.
Oxlade.
So
Yeah.
I'll put you guys on to. There's this song called Dada by Young John. Actually,
Dada.
Young John he's signed to Chocolate City right now, which I thought was pretty random, but it's a good song. I think you guys will like it.
Isn't he like a producer?
Yeah, but he's
Young
singing
John,
now.
the music producer.
Yeah, him.
Oh, it's
Yep,
him?
it's called.
Oh.
Yeah, it's him. Yeah.
Oh.
It's called Dada, and then there's this new artist that sounds like he reminds me of Kiss Daniel when Kiss Daniel first came off. His name is Jay Wills.
found it,
Jay.
Wills.
Jaywillz. And he dropped an EP called Sunflower. I think. All the the songs on there are good. I think you guys will fuck with it.
Young John
Mhm.
brought out an EP. This is what we like. 4 songs, and I will listen. 10 minutes. Thank you. That's all.
Wait, is it Jay Wills that dropped the Love or the Word, the EP? Is that the EP you're talking about?
Who, me?
Which one?
Jay Wills, Love or what EP was the one you say he dropped?
No, the one Love or the Word is an EP that I dropped before, but the one I'm talking about now is like it's called Sunflower, I think.
Sunflower. Okay.
It's called Sunflower. He dropped that one this year. Love or the Word is one that he dropped last year.
Okay,
but
I
it's the
just
same
saw, yeah, I
artist.
just saw the sunflower. Okay, I'll
Oh,
check
I've
it.
Okay,
listened
the
to this
Sunflower
Dada.
EP, yeah, definitely check it out and listen to Dada. Dada is a good song.
Yeah, I have.
Because you
It's
guys have
nice.
just reminded me now, I'll create a volume 3 for the playlist because
For sure.
like there's a lot of dope music coming out of Nigeria, like a lot of dope music, and I just
Talent
enjoy
Day.
finding out new artists and stuff. So um,
Maybe.
yeah, so Chooks, I'll definitely send you the link once I do that so that
Wala
you
no
can
Wow.
share it. And
Share it with us.
Wala no day.
Well, I just want
okay,
begging.
so
Can
can
you
we
guys
do
like
okay? Can we do a thing where we just listen to the music and then you just like cut it out in like your post edit and stuff?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I
Should
guess
we
then
should
we can
we
react after.
should we do let everyone say what they're listening to? Then after that, we can now do this one.
Okay,
Oh yeah, now.
okay.
Didi, what have you been fucking with?
Ewa. Well, Oxley, why are you laughing? Oxley brought out a new song, so one to you have been like jamming that, and then for some reason, like Fireboy brought out his song. I don't know how I was feeling it, but I started hearing it on Instagram story 10 times. So I was like, okay, I guess so, but I'm still on the seat about that. And then as usual, I replayed Ruga's EP almost like 20 times. I don't know why, but yeah. As in, I don't know, his first and his second, there's just something about his sound. Like, I really like it. To me, he's just very different. And it's a song that people like what's Dior? I don't, it's mine is the least. I like Snapchat. Snapchat is like, I don't know why it doesn't have a star on Apple Music. That song is really good. I did see that thing like back to back. But yeah, so that's what I've been listening to.
What do for you? What have you been
Yeah, I was
fucking
gonna add. You know that Fireboy song, man. And I think I heard it apart from Didi.
with? At all.
No,
Oh,
so
yeah?
there's one thing he was doing, man. Like I've realized a lot of Nigerian artists, like they.
Oh,
do-
like he was saying oof, right? He was
Oof.
like, oof.
Yes, because you know that in the club, once that comes on, everyone's going to be repeating that oof. Do you get what I mean? There's this formula, like kind of like how. if I
She's
broke
trying
my
to repeat
business-
the Peru thing.
Yeah.
She's trying to do the
Yes, I
Peru
felt that
para,
vibe
so it's
too.
doing
That
oof,
Peru
yeah.
para vibe, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Para.
But the
Me
beat
enters
was
for
good,
me,
man.
Sha.
That
The beat
oof,
was
the
good,
oof is
yeah.
kind. I feel like the oof gets annoying, Sha, after a while. Like it's just like you don't overuse.
Yeah, but,
Shout out to
yeah,
Fireboy, Sha.
yeah, he's doing
Yeah,
his
song
thing,
wasn't
man.
bad.
Like
But,
if you're going to bring up like a worthy contestant to like Rema on this upcoming P, you call people like Fireboy, man. Not Burna. I'm sure that no disrespect.
I knew this guy was coming for me. Bro, I always explain that I think Balash Mother is going to do what Olamide did to the streets. But the thing is, I understand you guys' perspective
What?
where, we're trying to go international. So, you know what, for now, I'll say, yeah, Rema is doing his thing. And, Manny, please, is that everything you've been listening to?
I was away with this for this past week, man. So, I'm not listening to anything new. But in terms of like listening, yeah, Didi. In terms of listening to like anything like randomly, like I've listened to a lot of Sam Smith. Like I know that's random. That in the lonely hour, like in the shower, man, I'm bumping that P, like
Did you
anytime I
cry?
have,
You
like, some
cry?
free time. Nah. But I was reminiscing, man. Like, so that's one thing with me with music, man. Like I would like for me to enjoy music, I attach it to enjoy a song. I attach it to like a memory, and then that's when it slaps the most. So, in the Lonely
Interesting.
Hour has a bunch of songs like that. But
Alright.
yeah, Okwuchi, you said you want to play like some songs, some tunes. Is this like from?
Wait now.
underground
Chooks has not
days?
said what he's been listening to.
Oh,
Chooks has not said what he's
Chooks
been
has
listening
been talking a lot. So I
He
was
said,
like,
"Fuck
yo,
Chooks." Fuck
yo.
Chooks.
No one cares because last Chooks will say has listened to some Zorro or Flavor or Battle Ranking.
Nah,
Those
you
voices
see
are
where you guys
Oh,
stay
you
too
be-
much.
Oh,
Yeah,
Chooks
yes,
will say.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
Chooks will say. No. Chooks will say. I
Wow.
wasn't listening. I was reading about the Igbo East and the national.
Yeah.
He's always doing something very.
No.
Yeah.
This
Ah.
week,
I'm reading
you
this
say the
book on
craziest thing.
Biafra.
Yeah,
This week,
that's
I've
Chooks.
been listening to a lot of Amapiano. I've listened to I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Yeah, get it,
Boile and Booster 929. Basically,
What's
guy, there's this song by
I know the song you're talking about. I know the song.
Ingizolele or something like that, bro.
The
Something
thing
like
with these
bro,
Amapiano songs is that it's like Amapiano gives you like blue balls, like it gives your eardrums blue balls, but because the build up is so slow,
it's
and
serious,
then like
bro.
there's a part of that 7 minute song that is just so
I, s-
catchy
I get so
that you
impatient.
This
yeah. So
this
this song that Chooks is talking about, there's a verse
Mm.
where like the guy is like just like spitting, right? Chooks,
yeah.
that's the song. I forget the name of
Yeah,
the song,
it's
but like, there's a part where he's just killing it, but that's not like it's just for that moment, sha. It's not like the rest of the song, and I'm like
bro,
that's why
like
I like
it's this.
that's why I
I won't
like
even like
Omo
this week.
Piano.
Which one is
Huh?
Omo? Which one is Omo
Omo
P?
Piano
Is
is
it
the
Omo
Nigerian
Piano?
blend now. Omo Piano is the Nigerian.
Nigerians
Even
do
on
not
this,
just
yeah,
Nigerians
on this
overdo. It's a chokehold for them. They used to
on
overdo.
on this Omo Piano vibe, man. Like I met like two SA babes like this past week, and they were yarning about like how they're frustrated with like this whole new blend of Afro beats and Amapiano. How like usually like Amapiano is slow, but us because we like Bese we have like we've
We
made
don't
out this
spoil
shit
them.
so fast, we don't speed them up. That now it's very hard to listen to, man. Even if you go to club, all these Nigerian DJs are trying to spin Amapiano, but they're putting like a faster. I think what they call is it BPN? It's something they call it like the beats, whatever, like they're
Yeah,
speeding the whole P
BPM.
up, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
BPM.
it's like it's hard to listen to like natural piano lovers, man. So I
Oh
was
wait, so
like,
my piano originally was like slow.
apparently it's
Mm.
slower, man. Apparently the OG ones in SC they're slow,
Oh
man.
damn!
Just
So we don't
like
spoil
what
that for
Okwuchi
them.
was saying right now, blue balls now they do build up. Boss, we just want to get there. Don't say Nigeria guys not like foreplay, straight to the
Nigerian guys are not patient. That's the
I
issue.
hate
We're
these
not
people so much.
patient.
no foreplay. Just stick it out and stick it in.
Huh? Very
That's
nasty.
basically it, man.
Yep, On Heat is the perfect title for this episode. I really like the thumbnails right now.
Yo.
But yeah, man. Personally,
Okay,
just
so
listen
I
to
definitely want us to critique this Shumba remix with Burna Boy.
Oh yeah, now so
Burna.
I'm going to pause the recording now. Then we'll listen.
Don't
then.
pause it. Just like leave it recording.
No, just play it. Then just cut it out,
Yeah.
or
Okay,
you
alright.
or you could pause whichever works. But
Yeah, just play it.
Burna Boy.
This isn't public yet, right?
The song.
Apparently it
I don't
is.
think I've heard it.
Like,
no,
it's
it has
Burna?
dropped.
No,
It
no.
dropped officially today, like this evening.
Okay.
What's the name of the song?
Shumba.
Sumba.
Yeah.
Shumba.
The OG, the original one, bro, that song is crazy, man. First time I didn't like it, but I heard it a few times with proper speakers.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, it's
Fucking
one of
hell.
those songs where it's like, hey, that song wasn't bad. Let me run it back, and
Yeah.
and just like that, I ended up listening to that song more times than Ashake himself.
Wait, the Ashake guy and Naive DJ guy, bro.
Oh
I don't. I think he's a Lagos guy.
Thank
But
you.
I'm not sure.
Chooks,
But
you're
I'm
a
not sure,
separatist,
so
though, for real.
No,
I swear he is.
Everything is
Literally
Abuja,
random
Lagos,
question.
Biafra,
Literally is a
Nigeria.
random question. Oh my god.
But
Bro,
no, but
relax.
do you know the thing? Do you know the thing? Abuja doesn't have a lot of like great representation in like
Very
Nigerian
boring.
entertainment and media.
That's why I'm
No,
trying to prop them up.
No,
I beg,
I was just
nobody
telling
asked you.
one of my
No, but
friends
some of-
celebrated. She's a Lagos babe. She celebrated her birthday
Yeah.
in Abuja like a couple days ago. I was not like, yo, how far now? How's it going? And she was like, that is too slow. That is like niggas are in the club and it's like they came to mosque or something. And I'm like, hold on. Listen,
Yo, that's
It's
fucking
not-
facts, man.
That's fast.
Eh, so all of you are now saying it. So all of you are saying it's facts. But you people be saying Abuja.
but you know the thing, I don't think it's that. I think that there's crack in the air in Lagos, and Abuja is kind of like a little bit. It's like fresh air. Like, see,
I mean,
here's
who needs fresh air?
Lagos is Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm just going to say that one straight
Honestly.
up. Like,
Thank
Since
you.
it's,
listen,
man.
I was in Lagos for like 2 weeks, right, and I was doing business, and I swear every interaction it was like everybody like was trying to figure out a way to fuck me over. You know, like, so you have to come from like your baseline is like this nigga is trying to scam me, so let me
Straight
like
up,
be on my
yeah.
A game. You
No
get
lose
like
guard. Yeah.
meanwhile, and it's just the same way people translate in psychiatric terms now. They'll say you're translating trauma to mean that it's a good thing or blah 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 blah. Like, so Lagosians have put this like spin on it and made it seem like, oh yes, the fact that we're trying to scam each other in this area means that we're the sharpest people in the world, right?
Yeah.
But if you carry that
Yeah.
Lagos mentality, enter Toronto or like Chicago or something in a
Yeah.
system
Yeah.
that works, you're fucked.
Bro.
You are fucked because you can't go about doing shit like that. So you come to Abuja and it's like it's a lot less of that. And granted, that's because a lot of people are afraid because they don't know who is who in Abuja. You don't know who is who. You don't know whose politician is. Whose kid this is or whose family
Yeah.
member. So like, there's less of that harassment from like law enforcement and shit. But Abuja is also not as crazy as Lagos,
But
and
I
for good
also want to
cause.
say, like Lagos Snap. This is just me from my objective lens. I don't really club, but like when I watch snaps in a club in Lagos, I actually feel like, oh, I would want to do that occasionally. When I watch snaps of clubs in Abuja, bro, I'd rather be on my bed. Like, bro, AVJ club snaps, they look sad, bro.
You
But
people do not
apparently
say
now
this,
it's
so
kicking
when you're
off.
talking,
Apparently now
I
it's
beg,
kicking off, bro.
See how
Me, I
long you
always
are
say
now
the
saying all
truth, man.
this?
Me, I've been saying this since
Listen,
from time.
listen. It's just like
Okay.
anywhere. It's just like anywhere. You have to know your spots, and you have to like know where and where you go for certain things,
Yeah.
right? So in Abuja, like me and my boys, like we know the places to go to, and the kind of parties that they have are not the kind of parties that you put on your social media. If you get what I'm saying.
LOL.
So
Yeah.
it's literally about whose snaps
Men
and
are
whose
doing
stories
lines of coke.
are you watching. I don't talk to anybody they shark cocoa. I don't talk you say anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's about who you're following. If the person that way they follow a dead guy, you know what I'm saying? Like obviously, like, they don't know what's really lit in the city. So it's just one of those things. But I would say Lagos, shout out to Kilimanjaro, because during my whole stay, have you guys been to Kilimanjaro before?
No,
I haven't been.
Oh, okay. Kilimanjaro is like an eatery. It's like a nice joint. It's like supposed to be fast food, but they actually sell actual food there.
Oh,
And
in
for the whole time I
Abuja.
was in Lagos. No, it's in
Abuja
Abuja,
and
but
Lagos.
it's in Lagos too. It's in Abuja and
Okay.
Lagos.
The
So the
Abuja
whole
one is
time I was in
old.
Lagos was like, huh?
This is not a new spot. The Kilimanjaro is an old spot in Abuja.
It's not like old, but it's like relatively new. You know what I'm saying? Like compared to the Mr. Biggs and the rest, it's like it hasn't been here that long. And like the food was so affordable, and I was on the island, and it was so convenient too because it was close by. So 3 square meals a day, like I was getting from Kilimanjaro, and it kept me sane in that mad town.
Yeah. So
thank the Lord.
So do you like bounce back back and forth from like London, like between Lagos and the States? Because I know like when she contacted you first, you were back in Niger for a while.
Oh yeah, I was in Abuja when he first like hit me, and so my co-hosts are in New York and everything, so it was like hard. But I haven't really been bouncing back and forth between the US and Niger like that because of all that life shit. But like moving forward, I'm going to be definitely hitting Niger a lot more often, just like on some business P. Because being in Lagos, a big part of it was, making connections with people in the music industry and, kind of setting a foundation for like the future and media and stuff like that between here and Niger. So obviously, in order to maintain those relationships, I have to have a presence in Niger. So like at least once a year, I gotta go back.
Show face, okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, play this thing. Do you have the
I don't know.
Is it ready? Yeah, play it.
There's Burna has a little part at the end. You guys want me to keep like playing it? You want to hear the whole thing?
Nah.
That's his whole verse, huh? That's his whole like main verse. Go ahead, Shooks, my bad.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say like I think I like the way it came in. Like I like the flow. I don't know those ad libs. Whose ad libs are those? But those ad libs were hard. I was like,
I'm not sure.
It's not the best Burna Boy verse I've heard. It's not the best I've heard, but like it's calm. Like it's not as good as.
I'm just comparing to like Davido coming on Baddest Boy remix. Like
it's not life changing.
Like
This is not life
okay,
changing.
you know what?
I was just there
you know what?
waiting.
That's a nasty comparison. Like, and I'm not saying it's bad, but like because Davido really is the king of remixes. Just like straight up.
Once you get that Davido this thing, it's gone then.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's a good like observation, honestly, because I feel like if Davido was hopping on this, I think he would come at it a little differently too.
Yeah.
But
Like
there was a lot
me,
of
I was
anticipation for this song, Sha. There was a lot of
for real.
anticipation for this song, and I don't think it met the hype, Sha.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think the original song is better than this remix. To be honest,
100%. When you said Burna Boy was on it, like when he entered, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for that hype part that will get me like yo. But like I was just there listening and everything was just still.
Yeah,
nah,
I will.
It was just like
I was waiting for the
on a straight
quotable.
line.
You know the quotable, like all them.
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
can
yeah,
say, you
yeah,
can say
yeah.
back,
Yeah,
That's it.
I couldn't get the quotable. I was like,
I feel like it's something you have to listen and listen, but it will eventually, like, it's not bad to me. It's not actually bad. It's just something I have to like plug it in and just like focus. But I don't know.
Now that's fair.
It's not bad, but it's a great song that Burna Boy didn't really add much to.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Justin Bieber on Essence. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like okay.
LOL, that was
Is
like
it-
a fail to me.
yeah,
That
it's like
Okwuchi's comparisons kill me, bro. Legit kill me.
No, that was just like unnecessary. Nobody, but yeah, you wanted international whatever, but it wasn't.
Didi, I'll keep explaining this thing to you. There was a
I beg
reason.
you.
There was method behind the madness. There was a reason why Justin Bieber was needed because white girls didn't. Fam,
no
white
that
girls
one
consume music.
that one did there. He did there, but you know the thing is that as listeners,
Abuse
we
anybody
don't need
else.
to concern ourselves. We don't need to concern ourselves with the business end of these. Like, you get our own
Don't
is
let your decision
did he
affect
enter?
us.
Yeah.
Did he enter or did he not? And the truth is,
Did
Essence
not.
is you see there are very few artists on the planet that would have added anything to that song. That song was perfect as it was, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, so
Right.
Justin Bieber was obviously just a business move, but it's just like for
Well,
what? I was
imagine if you
actually
added
like, oh no.
Migos.
They should have added who?
If you added Migos,
But
to
okay,
that
but
song,
okay,
it
okay,
probably would have been
actually,
different.
actually,
It
Migos
would have
Migos
been
would have done.
different.
I
They
actually
would have
think
done
Migos
something
would have done
different.
good on it.
It would
I
have been
think
some
Migos would
trap
have
shit.
done
Yeah.
good on
It
it.
would have been some
It
trap
was
shit.
that
No,
was
because
some-
like
No,
no,
just
because
just on that
Justin
beat,
was
just on
like
that beat.
Thames. There's nothing Justin added. He just sounded like
It
Thames.
sounded
like
like Justin
literally.
Bieber
But
was doing a cover. It sounded like it
They
was
So
needed
you guys
someone
wanted
different.
something different, something like
yes, not
I
a
actually
singer
think
again.
wait.
I
So
actually
that's
think
what Lil
Migos should
Baby
have done
tried.
something with that
Not
song.
Lil Baby. That baby. That's what that baby tried. Now you guys are entering him.
No,
Thank you.
I like that guy.
no.
Thank you. You guys are
That
smoking
baby,
the baby.
no.
That baby
No,
entered with
that
a
baby-
different listen.
That baby rap was rapping like as if he had somewhere to go. Like he was trying to fit in too many words into the beat. You get like that flow. That flow doesn't work. You need somebody that will like ride the beat, right? And actually,
Yeah.
you mentioned Migos, and I actually think that somebody like Takeoff would have done good on it because I don't know if you guys have seen this like this TikTok video where you see like this like people would do what would happen if X artist hopped on
If this person
beat.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
So the guy impersonated Young Thug and Takeoff, and it actually hit. If you guys can look that shit up on YouTube, like and listen to it, like it bangs. Actually, I think there's a SoundCloud link, and if I find it, I'll send it to Chooks too. But like it actually, let me see if I can find it here. I'll play it for you guys because it actually hit. Like the guy flowed on the song, and I was like, yo, actually that would actually bang if Young Thug and Takeoff were actually on this P. Let me find that shit real quick. I'll play it for you guys.
Oh,
I
man.
can-
The P is what they call it. Did what were we talking about before you?
I hear it.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Just hold that thought. Let me play this show real quick.
Okay. What's this?
Did you wait now?
Take off, rocket for the niggas that be watching. Got a fat bitch,
Yeah, this is
so
fire.
exotic. Smoking no gelato, my pockets is full of cottage. I was in the bed, no wrist on automatic. Now I cut the chick in the kitchen, used to be flipping, I'm rich and I
This
know
is
OT
fire.
got the glacier up on the paddock. Mama made a hustler, I never go be average.
Guys, I just want to say something. I never realized how versatile that Essence beat is. Like it's
Yeah,
not. It's
yeah.
such a like you can actually hop on that beat different ways, bro. I just did it, bro. Now take us versus fire. Young Thug, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Young
know.
Thug was just what was
Young
that?
I
Thug
think he
was also
flowed well, like especially for an opener for Takeoff to like come in. I think it
yeah.
sounded. He didn't ruin the song, so that's like really important. So I look at this Burna Boy remix like that. He didn't really add anything to the song, honestly, to that Shumba remix.
Sure.
I don't think it will increase the. It will make it
It'll
chattable.
probably it'll
It will
probably
just
help
like
it
be
track.
there. It
I
will.
think
I
it'll
even
actually
think
help
so.
help the numbers
No, definitely
because as
check
Rema
the
dropped his
numbers.
album, Shumba was at number one, right, in I think Hot 100 in Nigeria, and it fell like a bunch of Rema songs just like hopped up on it, like 7 or 8 Rema songs hopped up on that chart and knocked the song down. So it's kind of a good thing that he dropped this remix like now, and it might help the numbers. Sha. Let's see what happens on the charts.
We'll see.
Let's see. But yeah, guys. Any last words? Any what we saying? Okwuchi, your social handles, your social media handles. Let me say your social handles.
Oh yeah, for sure. On Twitter and Instagram, it's Okwuchi. That's OKWUCHIII. It's 3 I's. It's the same on Twitter and it's the same on Instagram.
Okay, and
And definitely follow the regular show. Follow the regular show
follow
podcast.
the regular show podcast.
On Twitter and Instagram, it's one irregular show. That's just the number one, and then irregular show. And definitely tap into the From Lagos with Love podcast too. Oh yeah, Chooks, I'm curious. Did you hear me first on the regular show on From Lagos with Love?
Irregular show N6 episode.
Okay.
The N6.
Oh really?
Bro, that P was funny. Like I actually listened to the whole thing. I listened to the whole thing.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
I
Actually.
remember I listened to that. I texted my P. I was like, bro, nah. What's happening with these guys? It was too funny, bro. Like because N6 is as cut as uncut as you are. So I was like, oh my god.
N6
These guys are just
was
saying it the way it is.
definitely- Yeah, and do you know what's crazy? I usually don't cut stuff off the pod. I don't like edit it like that. Like
Yeah.
I clean it up, but I don't cut shit out. But N6 said some other shit, like some political shit, right? And it had to do with the protests. And like literally, we recorded that episode on a Sunday. On Monday, some shit happened, and he was like, "Yo, my lawyer advised me that like." I was like, yo, like, come on, man. Like, really? Are we really going to do this? But I just had to.
We got into like some legal.
No. See, like, as fun as that episode is, like, it got real. Like, it got into some real shit because keep in mind, N6 lives close to that toll gate, right? So, like, that's like his area. And so he was talking about some things that happened there. And then this report came out like literally the next day, like in the morning, and on social media everybody was talking about it, and he was like, yo, I don't think this would be a good time to drop this shit. And I just had to consider the fact that N6 lives in Lagos. So if anything that he says there becomes like widely broadcasted to that extent, like he's like right there in the heat of things. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in Nigeria, like he's on ground. I'm in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that happens is not really going to like reflect on me like that. So I was just like, but it's not really for content. It's not really worth it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully the things that I was saying, somebody else will say on a mainstream platform, and it will open up a new conversation about what really what happened on that day. But yeah, it was a really dope episode, man. This one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites.
Guys, before we come on, man, are you going to give us the gist of the people stealing loud on vacation? Or that's not podcast content.
This podcast is fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So, this is not the first time. This is not the second time. Like, I don't know what is it with babes, man. And I always find that it's always like Yankee babes. Like, first time was 2019, Miami. Got Airbnb with my boys now. Got loud and all of that. So, that one self, we had the whole joint. Have you had like two? We just left you on the table. And everybody's vibing. I'm not going to start looking at, everybody. Oh, is this person still? This person doing this, doing that. So, everybody was drinking and all of that now. So, the babes ended up leaving. And then all of a sudden we couldn't find the two like joints we rolled up. And I'm like, bro, what's going on? Because we know we definitely didn't smoke this. Because we had others who were smoking. We left that. You know, like when you're ready to pre-roll and stuff, it doesn't leave you on the table. Everyone is vibing now.
Yeah.
And like, they left it loud and they were acting as if. I think they were acting. They just left like in a haste or something like that. So me, I was like, damn, how you guys going to do all of this just for 2 joints? Like, what's going on?
Then it pop loud.
Yo, the second one was yesterday. This one was like, my guy actually called. This one, my guy was like, that is enough, man. He actually called the babe out because. So we were in the house now. It was me and my guy, then 2 babes, 2 SA babes. So we're vibing and all of that, drinking and whatever. We're smoking. So normally now, like, because when my guy rolls, he just rolls like a lot and we just keep them there, you know. So we have like, when we're going to concerts, we'll take some, or like some might leave when we get back.
Yeah.
So like he rolled up and all of that now. So he gave the babe, I think that's where he even fucked up. He gave the babe to at least just hold it or whatever. So we got to the concert now. Already Uber there. We got to the concert. Only to be like, okay, who's with the blunt now? Like, I thought you took the blunt, blah, blah, blah. Male smoker. The babe was like, well, we left it at home. My guy was like, there's no way. Like, I gave you this pee. He was still insisting. We left it at home. So me, I just told him that, bro. I just get looked at him. You know, obviously, like that. Yes, I couldn't allow it. I just looked at him to just like, just allow it, man. Because these babes, like, they know what they came there for. They came there to fap loud. They're fap, they're loud. So they can dip now, man. Plus, obviously, I didn't want to, like, based on loud, will now not be able to relate to them there and finish whatever we started, you know? So
Yeah.
Look at this one's fire.
So I told the guy, man, don't worry, man. How much is it loud? It's fine. Well, yeah, man. So, like, you're listening to this pod, man, and you know that maybe you and some of your friends, you guys are in the habit of fapping loud on vacation, especially. Like, desist from those acts, man. Like, it's not cool.
Stealing weed is some crackhead shit, man.
Weed, like why did they always bust my brain? Because normally, bro, if you are smoking, everyone is just vibing now, like, you know.
Because that's the one thing that you're supposed to share. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
like,
everyone's connected.
Yeah.
But these ones, they're different. So Okwuchi, have you like, since you live in the States, obviously, is that something that like is rampant there?
I hate this voice so much.
Oh, babes, where they steal weed.
Where they still loud.
If you're around long enough, you see you go see babe where they steal left ear of AirPod. You know, like
that one that just wickedness. That one that wickedness, man. Yo.
If you stick around long enough, you go see some kind of things, man. And you go just say, like, babes are like, but these things started from primary school now, and I say that because no, like, and see, there's a whole system, right? I know it sounds like really deep, but it's just like facts. There's a whole system. When I was in primary school, like when somebody would mess in class, nobody looked at babes.
Yes,
niggas just assumed he's a nigga.
Yes.
Guy, you know, the babe we don't drop one hot mess. We want Calabar for that angle. Equity bong don't drop one. We don't chop one madness that morning. I sure nobody they even look aside. You know what I'm saying? Niggas can't point fingers. So that's where that nonsense starts. Like the way like niggas look at women, like it now goes into like adulthood, right? If you go the dating scene in Nigeria, for example, is like that shit is trash. Nobody, and when I say this, like if anybody is faithful between Lagos and Abuja, they're in the 1%. Like babes and niggas are like, then they cheat like crazy.
Yeah, this is so wild because we're talking about this cheat, like, my guy. Even married men on like vacation. This vacation, the guy came with his wife and child. The guy was asking us, "Yo, where is the next spot, babes? Where are the babes at? I just looked up my wife at the hotel. Where are the bitches?" Jesus. I'm like, nigga, we literally just met your wife.
But that you see, and that like it's crazy like that. So when you look at the Niger dating scene, right, you see that literally niggas, like the men that are in relationships, they are glorified sponsors. Honestly. Like anything, there's one constant in dating in Niger is billing. Like that is the B word. Billing is the B word. In Niger, billing. If there's anything that confirm, if you want to pull any babe, it's straight billing. Straight billing. And I was telling my guys, like, yo, you guys that want to japa, just know that you have to drop this mentality when you come here because yeah, there are gold diggers everywhere, but this system now is not how it works. Because when some kind of bills hit you here in the States or like if you're in Canada or something like this, you won't be doing this nonsense that you're doing here in Nigeria.
Where you get
it's not like
utility, you get car bill. You
Yeah. Once you don't knock you,
won't
once
come
abroad
bill
don't
you
knock
again.
you. Yeah, you be like, fuck off. Like, who, what I'm saying? Like, who are you? That kind
what
of thing.
to
So,
Rema on this new album? What to Rema? My love is not a source of income. Ew.
Just quoting lyrics. So they're quoting lyrics.
Didi. You
What?
see what people are doing. Be the menace. in
I'm
our
not one
society.
of them, oh.
Aye.
I don't do that.
No, Didi can hold her own apart from the days that she's asking me for Uber Eats. But normally,
You are such a stupid boy. I always hold my own. In fact, let's not even start. You're the one that is weak. I always hold my own and I always will show up. You want to come for me.
Oh man, but yeah, guys.
yeah, so the point is people don't really look at Niger babes like until until they serve you some kind of breakfast, you'll be looking at them like such innocent creatures, and then you really get to see that. Especially Igbo women. But that's another episode. That's not even Igbo women are
Guys, please no. Guys, please no. Let's not do this.
Yes, please what?
Protect our Igbo queens. But yeah,
This guy.
I bet let's round up.
How long have we been recording for?
I can't even say this thing seriously. We're about to touch 2 hours. So
What?
We're about to touch. It doesn't feel like that. But yeah, guys, Didi.
Wow.
Oh yeah, do the magic.
Yes.
Do the magic.
Okay, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for, staying here
Let's thank
till
our
the end.
guests first now, Didi.
Wait now, I want to.
Thank you so much for hopping on the call in there. Let's
Emmanuel,
do
you're
this
such a rude guy. Who told you I wasn't going to do that? You saved the best for the last. Let me finish. Oh, sorry, I don't mean the listeners are not the best though, but anyway, yeah. So thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you so much for bringing, a spin to it. It was getting boring here with these boys. Don't know anything, mumus. But thank you so much for hopping on. Appreciate it. Learned a lot, more insights, more juice. Definitely, I want you back because it was very interesting. But yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. I had fun. Great conversation, and I'm down. If you guys invite me again, I'm down.
Okwuchi, with a stormy regular show, with a coming regular show, come disturb now.
You guys should pull up now. I'll get the gang ready. Jesheja, four of you going to pull up.
4 of us will pull up.
How many are you guys? You guys are
3.
like 3, okay.
There are 3 of
3
us.
or 4, okay.
And I think when we did the N6 episode, there were like 5 of us on that episode, right? Yeah, there were 5 of us doing it. Yeah, but it definitely works. You guys just definitely tap in. Definitely, I haven't put out a new episode since then because life has just been happening. But I'm gonna put something out soon. But that N6 episode is definitely one of my top ones. That one, and there's another one I dropped early that year was about shit. I don't even remember what it was about. But yeah, definitely check it. Definitely just listen to every episode of the regular show because every episode is fire.
Sure.
Okay.
Dalu
Tap in, man.
Oh, it's Manipi that's taking us out. I am Manipi.
Nah, it's Dalu, man. It's Dalu. Yo, Didi. See, when we need her most, she's not here now.
She's not there.
No, sorry, I went to go and order bubble. No, I went to
You
go and
can't
order
even defend your throne. You can't defend your throne. Queen.
But yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're such a stupid boy. Thank you so much. If you have any yan mail or whatever it is, hit us up for yansonly@gmail.com. Follow the pod at for yansonly.
See, guys, did we agree to call this P&N meal? Because Didi just started
I like that. That's a bar. Yan mail.
You see, these boys, they don't have vision. They don't have vision.
Instead of Y mail, it's yan mail. That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah, they don't have vision. Very small forward thinking. But anyway, yeah, follow pod at for Yans only. Yeah.
I just needed validation from the man. I beg.
You know what, Emmanuel? We should cancel you. We really should.
Yeah,
Okay.
guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.